just to see, just to.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you so much for joining despite being at work.
all right. Yeah. Have a good session, guys.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. I'll be sharing my screen now, and we'll go through MCC laws today. So, could somebody confirm that you see the screen? Good. It's all good.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So this will be this is organized by Cricket Quebec, but it is open to all, especially MCA people. We are happy to have you guys. And today the plan is to cover from Law 13 to Law 22. And I'm my Navneeth. I'm qualified level 3 umpire, and I'm also coordinator for Cricket Quebec umpires. And I have made a presentation today in the hope that it will be faster and easier to understand the laws. And this is not an official information from any body. This is solely for preparation purposes. For any information on the laws or the playing conditions, you have to refer to lords.org for MCC laws, and ICC has the website playing conditions shared in their website. That will be the official source of any information. So I'll be going through each laws, and after the laws, there will be a set of questions to understand, to check if we have understood the laws. And you can also ask questions at that time after each laws if you have any doubts. So law 13 is innings. Innings is a match can be of either one innings or two innings for each side. Innings can be limited to a specific number of overs or time. So generally we see innings are limited to number of overs, say 50 overs or 20 overs, like that. It can also be specific time, but practically I have not seen any matches which is limited to innings is limited to time. Each side will bat alternatively unless follow-on is enforced or an innings is forfeited in two innings match. So follow-on or forfeiture can happen only in a two innings match. Otherwise, the innings will always be alternative. We'll see follow-on and forfeiture in detail in the coming laws. Completed innings. So what makes an innings complete? If the side is all out, on declaration or forfeiture, specified time or overs are completed, or at the fall of wicket, further balls to bowl remain and no further batter is available to come in. The last point is, say if 9 wickets are down and if the batter is injured or not available to come, or even 8 wickets are down, no further batsman available to come, then the innings is completed. So this is one of the questions. Sometimes it gets asked in question, when do you think not when do you think, but when does innings complete? So it is good to remember these 4 points for examination purposes. Then the toss. The captain shall toss for the choice of innings. So the captain is responsible to go for the toss, but in law 1, you would have seen that if the captain is not available, a deputy who is a nominated player can act as a captain for the purpose of toss. And where the toss should take place, it should be on the field of play in the presence of one or both umpires. So it should be on the field of play. That means inside the boundary, anywhere it can be inside the boundary. Generally, the norm is to go till the pitch, but it can be anywhere. But generally, it is not. You cannot have it, say, outside the ground or somewhere else. But technically, you should have it in the field of play. When the toss should happen? Toss should not happen earlier than 30 minutes, not less than 15 minutes. So it is, if the start of the match is at 9 o'clock, the toss should happen between 8:30 to 8:45. So it is not earlier than 30 minutes or 15, not less than 15 minutes of the scheduled or rescheduled time for start of the match. Say the scheduled start is 9 o'clock, and because of rain delay or something, the match is already, before the toss, the match is delayed to 10 o'clock. Then the toss will happen between 9:30 to 9:45. So decision to be notified. The captain winning the toss has to notify the other captain of their decision to bat or bowl immediately. So this has to happen immediately after the toss. You cannot say that I'll ask my team members, or I'll have to consult someone to decide. You will have to immediately say if you're going to bat or bowl. And the decision, once notified, it cannot be changed. So,
Navneeth,
yes.
a quick question.
Yes.
Ashok from MCA said he's trying to join him. Okay, he has just been let in because he has messaged me a couple minutes ago before you start.
Okay.
And I see he is now in. Okay, go on, continue. Sorry.
Okay. So that is the end of the lot number 13 innings. So then we'll see questions. So I would like people to answer these questions. If somebody can unmute themselves and answer the questions. And also, if you have any doubts, you feel free to ask me. So how many innings are there in a match? Can an innings have limitations? If yes, what are they?
2
Anyone?
innings. 2 innings.
It can be either 1 innings or 2 innings.
Yeah.
And what are the limitations for an innings? How is the innings defined?
Can be defined by an overs or by the time.
Exactly. So by overs or by time. And generally we have it by overs. And so it is, innings is generally not defined by time in the matches we see. We have test matches where the match is defined by the time, but innings is not defined by time there. But in limited overs matches, it is defined by time, 50 overs and T20. Okay, then if a match is of 2 innings each, how are they played? It has to be played alternatively. That is what we have to know here, unless there is a follow-on or a forfeiture. When you consider an innings completed, so there are 4 points I said. Could somebody do you
When
remember?
all the players are out,
All out,
there's no
yeah.
ball to throw. Normally we don't consider the time, but when there's no baller to bat, no batsman to bat, and there's no ball to bowl, then the inning
So
is over.
overs or time completed, that is one. When it is all out, and when there are no batters are left to come, there is one
Yeah.
more point.
The time?
Overs or time, that is
Okay.
the point. So the another point is if there is a declaration or a forfeiture. So when you
Okay.
declare an innings, it is considered as the innings completed. Thank you. If there is any questions, feel free to stop me and ask whenever at the end of each law. I'm going to the next law now. Law 14 is follow-on. So follow-on happens in a 2 innings match. In a 2 innings match, a team can enforce a follow-on if it bat first and leads by a minimum of 75 runs in a 1-day match, 100 runs in a 2-day match, 150 in a 3 or 4-day match, 200 runs in a 5 or more days match. So these numbers you have to remember for examination purpose. We must be knowing that 200 runs for 5-day match, because international matches are for 5 days. But if it is a 3 or 4-day match, say Ranji Trophy matches in India happen for 4 days, so that there the follow-on criteria is 150 runs, and there are many local matches happen on 2 days or even 1 day. So for 2 days it is 100 runs lead is required for follow-on, and for the 1-day match it's 75 runs. Captain to, so enforcing follow-on, captain to inform umpires and the opposing captain of their decision of enforcing the follow-on. Once it is notified, the decision cannot be changed. So what happens to the follow-on if day's play lost? So then how will we count the duration of the match? If day's play lost, if day's play starts only when the day's play starts only when the first over starts after the call of play, that will be considered first day of play. Say if in a 5-day match, the first day play is fully rained out, then it will be considered as a 4-day match. So for the follow-on purposes, the number of runs required will be changed accordingly. If first 2 days are rained out, it will be a 3-day match. But this is only counted for the beginning. Say in a 5-day match, the second day is fully rained out, it will not be considered as 4-day match, but it will be considered as 5-day matches. So we come to end of the law follow-on. So which captain can enforce follow-on and how? Anybody?
The captain who decide to bat first.
Yes, that's right. With the team batting first, that captain can enforce follow-on when there is enough lead as per the matches. Any loss of play on any day in a multi-day match has any impact on enforcement of the follow-on?
No.
Yes, it does in regards to the number of runs that are required. So that varies if it's a 3-day, 4-day, 2-day match, and the number of runs accordingly.
Could you give me an example?
So, for example, 3 to 4 days, the minimum is 150 runs, and a
No, but
2-day match would be
what
like
is
100.
how many days the match happens before the rain comes into play, and what happens after the rain?
So, let's say if it's a 5-day match, um, it should have been 200 runs to begin with, but if we would lost a whole day of play to first day, so we're left with 4 days, then 150 runs now.
Perfect. So that is the thing, and it has to be for first day, and the match is if the first day is lost, then it will be changed accordingly.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you very much. Then we'll move on to law 15, declaration and forfeiture. So time of declaration. Captain of batting side may declare their innings closed at any time during the innings when the ball is dead. So here it is important to note that the captain can declare the innings. It can happen at any time, but any time during the innings, but it should not be when the ball is in play. It should happen when the ball is dead. Say this is to ensure that, say, if batsman is about to get out, the ball is high in the air before fielder catching the catch, you cannot declare the innings. That cannot happen. So it can be at any time during the innings, but when the ball is dead, the captain can declare the innings. Forfeiture of an innings. A captain may forfeit either of their side's innings before its commencement. So what about so forfeiture is like the before starting of the innings, the captain says, I don't want to play this innings, and it is similar to declaration, but it happens before the start of the innings. And we will see an example when it has happened, what is the need for the forfeiture in the next slide. Regarding the notification, when it should be notified, captain to inform the umpires and the opposing captain of their decision to declare or forfeit. Once notified, it cannot be changed. Okay. So this is one example of forfeiture. It's a test match between England and South Africa that happened on January 2000, as you can see. So because of rain delay, I believe the match is they did not have enough time to play the match, 2 innings match. So, but both wanted a result. So both captains agreed to forfeit their innings and change the match to 1 innings match. So this has happened in international, where you can see South Africa forfeited their innings. So before commencement of the innings. So this is the sometimes forfeiture can come into play in these kind of circumstances. Now we have come to the end of the law of declaration and forfeiture. Going to questions. So who can declare an innings and when? Anybody?
Captain can declare the innings
And when can they do that?
When the ball is dead.
when the ball is dead.
Anytime during the innings when the ball
No.
is dead.
When the ball is dead, yeah.
Who can forfeit an innings and when?
Before the inning that you can forfeit the innings.
Captain.
And the captain can make the decision, and they have to inform the umpires.
What is the difference between declaration and forfeiture? So
I believe, like you mentioned, the declaration can be done anytime, whereas the forfeiture is before the start of an innings.
yeah, so declaration is happening during the innings, forfeiture is before the start of the innings. Who has to notify declaration or forfeiture and to whom?
Captain to umpires.
The captain to the
Another
umpire.
captain.
Captain has to inform both to the umpire and the opposing
Other
captain.
captain.
Yes. And which innings can be forfeited and when?
If there's no day to left to play, and the inning cannot be finished.
No, that is one of the examples for forfeiture. It is up to the captain when they want to forfeit, but it has to happen before the commencement of the innings.
Yeah.
Thank you. So then we'll move on to law 16, the result. So result, we all play for the result. So we have to know what are the types of result that we have. So obviously we have win. So what is a win? If win can be from a 2 innings match or from a 1 innings match. So in 2 innings match, a side which scores a total of runs in excess of that, in excess or that scored in 2 completed innings of the opposing side shall win the match. So run should be in excess. That is the main logic behind winning. But in 2 innings, the match, the team who scored less should have completed both their innings for this to happen. And in an 1 innings match, team scores in excess of that scored in 1 completed innings of the opposing side shall win. So the opposing side should have completed their innings, and the other team should have exceeded their run tally. And umpires awarding the match is one of the ways result can happen. A match shall be lost by a side which concedes defeat. So the team can concede defeat, or in the opinion of umpires, refuses to play. So there can be a situation where the team refuses to play. There is some incident happening. The team is refusing to play. Then the umpire have the right to award the match to the opponent. Umpires determine. So when this happens, when there is a refusal happens, so umpire, it is not a ordinary situation. So umpire has to see and inquire what is actually happening. So umpire should determine if a player's action is a refusal to play. They have to confirm if it is actually a refusal to play. If so, they inform the captain that this is a refusal. If the captain persists, the match is awarded to the other side. Also, 42.6.1 is level 4 offense. In level 4 offense, your player will be removed from the team, the player, it is similar to giving red card in football matches. So the player will not be allowed to take further part. If a captain refused to remove the player, that is also considered as refusal to play, and that can also lead to awarding the match. So if after discussion takes place, after play has started and does not constitute a refusal to play, so if all umpire is trying to determine if it is a refusal, and then they realize that the team is actually wants to play, then what happens is playing time counted as lost. Whatever the time lost in those discussion is counted as lost time. The time lost shall be extended to that day. So that time should be extended. So if the 5 o'clock is finish time, 15 minutes wasted for this purpose, then 5:15 will be the finish time. If applicable, no over shall be reduced for last hour.
I have a question. What happens if one of the captains refuses to play and some time is lost, but then they decide to play, and then at the end of the day, there's bad light? So who loses the overs?
So, so it is just as if so you continue, you extend the match to that time, and the bad light is as good as coming. So 5 o'clock is the finish time. So, but it is extended. But it's as good as the bad light came at 5 o'clock. So it is unfortunate that happens. But of course, there will be you can report this incident, and there will be other actions that can be taken by the governing body. But the overs are not reduced based on this. The match is just shifted forward because of this reason.
Right. Okay.
Statement of result. So what are the statements of results that can happen? So if the batting last team wins, it is win by number of wickets that is left. So if they chase down after losing 6 wickets, they win by 4 wickets. Batting last wins by penalty runs, then it is win by penalty runs. So when we declare the result by penalty runs is, say they won solely based on the penalty runs. The target is 100 and the team is all out for say 98, and but they have 5 penalty runs. They got 5 penalty runs in the innings. So then the score is actually 103, but only the penalty runs took them forward. So that means the team won by penalty runs. So this is one unique situation where the result is declared that the team has won by penalty runs. When the fielding last wins, then it will be declared by winning by number of runs. Concession or refusal to play. So then the match is declared as match conceded or match awarded. That's how the result should be stated. Any decision as to the correctness of the score is responsibility of the umpire. So whenever now we have apps, so there is no requirement for tallying the score, but umpires are responsible for the correctness of the score, and they should check in all the intervals that everything is the scoring is fine. Mistake in scoring. So what happens if there is a mistake in scoring? So if it is an incomplete innings or time remaining, if overs or time remain, play resumes from the point of the supposed conclusion. No time lost during the error discovery is counted. So one time this has happened to me. We thought the match is over. We came off, and then we realized there is still one more run required to win. And then we had to go back to play. So they played for that one run, and again we came back after the match is concluded. So if the time or overs are remaining, you have to continue the game. And the time lost because of this is not counted for any overs reduction. And what if it is a completed innings or no time remaining for playing? Then umpires inform captains of score and result correction. So then before declaring the result, they figure out what is the correct score, and that will be declared to the captains. Once umpires and scorers confirm the final scores, the result is final and cannot be changed. Once umpires finalize and they declare, then the result cannot be changed. So now we are at the end of the law results. So here are a few questions to check our understanding. How do you define a win in one innings and a two innings match? It's about whoever has excess runs, they have won the match in one innings or two innings match. But in two innings match, the team which has lesser runs, they should have completed both their innings. Just a minute. Sorry. This. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed this slide because we did not cover tie or draw. So I'll answer. I'll explain about tie and draw. So if a result is not achieved as win or the match is not awarded, then the result will be as per agreement. So as per agreement here, in the sense there can be some local matches where they can have some specific criteria for winning, but that is not relevant here. So we have matches win based on the number of runs scored. So all other matches, if it is not a win, it can be either a tie or a draw. So what is tie? The result of a match shall be a tie when all innings have been completed and the scores are equal. So tie can happen when the scores are equal. Both teams have same amount of runs, but also there should be equal number of. So also the innings should have been completed. So once the innings is completed, then the match is tie. When it is a draw, match is concluded in any other way than a win or a tie. If it is not a win, if it is not a tie, then it is a draw. That's how we decide draw. Winning hit or extra. The match concludes after the winning run is completed. So 2 runs to win. You score a boundary, but before the ball reaches boundary, you complete 2 runs. Then only 2 runs will be scored for the team. Or we are running 3 runs, only 2 runs will be scored, because at the moment you complete the target, the match is concluded. This we have seen. Okay, now we'll come back to the question. So when do the umpires award a match? Anybody?
When the inning is over.
No, awarding a match. Awarding a match to the other team.
When the other team refuses to play?
Yes. So if the other team refuses to play or refuses to remove a player for a level 4 offense, then the umpire will award the match to the opponents. But they have to make sure that it is a genuine refusal. They have to investigate. They have to talk to the players to make sure that it is a refusal. Can a match be played with any agreements other than 1 or 2 innings match? In special cases, the matches are generally defined as 1 or 2 innings matches, but they can have a specific agreement to play how they want. Define a tie or a draw. Could anybody explain what is a tie and what is a draw?
Like you just say when the innings is completed, both innings should be completed for the tie match.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as you mentioned, you just mentioned if you complete the runs, the needed runs, tie and draw. I mean, draw when the both innings completed first thing, and the runs what we need to
Mhm.
complete the match. That also we should achieve it. Like you already mentioned, if we need 2 runs or 3 runs, make sure we achieve that. So make sure we win the match or
Mhm.
draw the match, but make sure all the innings should be completed.
The innings should be completed and the runs are equal.
Equal, yeah.
So yeah. So
If the runs are
you
equal, there will be a tie, you know. But if the runs are not equal and the both things are completed and the time is over, it's a draw.
that's right. Yeah. So if the runs are not equal and the innings are complete, there can be a situation where the runs are equal, but the innings is not completed. So team A scores 100, team B scores 100 in first innings. Uh, team A again scores 200 in second innings, and team B is scoring in fourth innings 200 for 4. And all 5 days are over. You finish the match. So the runs are same, but the last team is not concluded their innings. The innings is not over, so it is still a draw, even though the runs are same. But if they finish if it is 200 all out, then they have completed their innings. Then it's a tie.
Then it's a tie. Okay.
So what do you understand by a winning hit? Like winning hit. So what happens? I'll answer it because the question is framed very vague. Because winning hit, so winning hit is concludes the match. So whatever happens after that will not be counted. So 1 run to win, you score a boundary. You don't run, you get all 4 runs. But if you run that run before the ball reaches boundary, then it will not be the boundary will not be counted. Or say 1 run to win, it's a wide and a stumping. Since wide is counted, we'll see that wide is counted from the moment the bowler comes to the delivery strike. So it will be a run and the match is concluded and the stumping will not be counted. How is a statement of result made?
Can you sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
Can you explain again? You just say like the bowler he deliver a ball which is wide, right? And the second innings you need actually a 1 run to win, right? So you considered that wide ball first, then you the leg umpire or give a stamp. So how it's like which one has come first?
Wide comes first because when wide happens, the match is concluded. Because when we go to the wide law, we'll see that we will call wide after the ball crosses the striker's wicket. That is when we will call wide as an umpire. But even though we are calling at that time, the wide is considered to have happened from the moment the bowler comes into the delivery straight for bowling. So wide happens first, then only stumping happens. And when the wide happens, the match is concluded as it is only 1 run required. So stumping will not be counted in that case.
Okay,
Even
counted is
yeah.
even the leg umpire gave out.
Yeah. Even the leg umpire did not see the striker and umpire gives out. It will not be counted. He'll have to revoke the call, or the match is ended before that. He'll have to revoke the call and time has to be called, and that wicket will not be counted.
That wicket will not be counted. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. How is a statement of result made? So statement of result, this is the 4 points. Sometimes this can be asked in exam. How result can be stated? So it is by runs, by penalty runs, by wickets, or match conceded or awarded. So these are the ways you can. These are the statements of result. What do you do if there is a mistake in scoring? This is at the end of the match. What do you do if there is a mistake in scoring?
I think the correct. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. It's okay. You're sorry. I'm sorry.
I think we continue. Umpire should go and correct the scoring and continue the game, resume the game.
If there is time or overs left, then we'll have to go back and continue. If not, we will correct the score and declare the results accordingly.
Yeah.
Can a result once announced be changed?
No.
Yeah. Once announced, the result cannot be changed for any reason. So we come to the end of results. So that is one category. Innings and results is one of the categories in laws from law 13 to 16. We have completed that. Do you have any questions, any other questions related to this? Feel free to ask. I'll pause for a few seconds.
Yeah, you just mentioned, sir,
Yes.
you cannot change the result.
Yes.
Even there's an error in the scoring. But that's only in what? In one day, in T20, or because in ODI there's no over remaining, and also in T20 there's no over remaining. You go out and find out there's a error in the scoring. So that time, if the umpire do have authority to correct the error, so that cannot change. Is that mean, sir?
So the umpire will go back inside. They'll check the score. They'll check if everything is fine. Then they'll announce the result. After that, it cannot be changed.
In ODI and T20, because we're talking about three. Sir?
Any format.
Any format.
Yes. So these are MCC laws. So what MCC laws is the base of all the rules. So this will be adopted or modified accordingly for specific formats. Say ODI will have that is called as a playing condition. So this will be modified to adopt. If it is good, they'll straight away take it. If it is required, then they'll modify it. For ODI or for T20, they'll have their own playing conditions, or even for example, Cricket Quebec has their own playing conditions. So playing conditions could change. That will supersede this. But this is the base of all the rules. So and I believe this will be same in all the ODI, T20, or even Test matches. This will be same even in playing conditions.
Because for example, in local cricket here, we have a two kind of scoring accounting. Here is right now is online, and also we have a manually.
Okay.
So for example, we have an error in the electronic, and there's no error in the physical whatever manually we're doing. So sometimes there's a confusion came right there. So which one we take and which one we say is correct, So that's thing I think.
Yeah. So umpire is responsible, as we have seen before. Umpire is responsible for the correctness of the score. So umpire should decide what is the correct score. Then they'll have to come to an agreement with the scorer. Then they'll announce the result. So once it is announced, it cannot be changed.
It cannot be changed. All right. I got my answer. Okay.
Thank you. So if there are no further questions, we'll move on to the next segment of the laws, which is overs, runs, and extras. So we'll move on to law 17, the over. Number of balls in an over. We know that the ball shall be bowled from each end. The bowler should bowl from each end alternatively in overs of 6 balls. 6 valid balls. So start of an over. An over has started when the bowler starts his or her run-up. Or if there is no run-up, start his or her action for the first delivery of that over. So this is important. Sometimes we miss this point. So when actually the over start is not when the bowler bowls the ball. When they start the run-up, the over starts. So if for all the purpose, say if bowler has 4 overs in a match, if they start running and then they stop because of some injury or something, they don't bowl the over, then after that they cannot bowl the next over, or first of all they cannot bowl the next over, then they'll have only 3 more overs to bowl. So because their over is already started, that will be counted as 1 over. So it is important to know that when the over starts, it starts when the bowler starts their run up. Validity of balls. So when the ball is considered as a valid ball, if the ball is delivered, it is valid unless it is a no ball or a wide, or it is called or considered dead before striker had opportunity to play. We will see dead ball in the coming laws. Batter not ready or distracted by external source. If the batter is distracted, that will not be counted if the batter does not play, or one of the following penalties applied. There are some penalties that 5-run penalties are unfair plays. In some situations, the ball will not be counted as one of the over. So these four, law 24.4, player returning without permission. This is if a player went out because they were injured or they got a substitute, but they entered the field of play without permission and touches the ball, then that ball will not be counted. What other consequences we'll see in that particular law? Then fielding the ball. Fielding the ball is you are fielding with something other than your person. Like you take out your cap and you field the ball with that. Then that is unfair play. That ball will not be counted. Then there is a deliberate attempt to distract the striker, or deliberate distraction, deception, or obstruction of batter. These all we'll see in detail further. But these are the four situations where the ball will not be counted as one of the over. This is again important in the point of exam. They can ask when does not ball count as one of the over. Then you'll have to mention these 4 points. Law 24.4, 28.2, 41.4, 41.5. You don't have to remember the law numbers, but you have to remember for what situation the ball will not be counted. Then call of over. When 6 valid balls have been bowled and when the ball becomes dead, the umpire shall call over before leaving the wicket. So the umpire should call over only after the ball becomes dead. So what happens if umpire miscounts the ball? If umpire miscounts the ball, it stands actually. Miscounted, but if it is less than 6, the over stands as counted even if it is incorrect. So if after 5 balls, the umpire calls over, then it is a 5-ball over, unfortunately. And what happens if more than 6 balls bowled and miscounting happens? The umpire can end the over at any point after the 6th valid ball, even if the delivery isn't a valid ball. The bowler bowls the 7th ball, and the 7th ball is wide. And the umpire realizes it's over, then it is over. They'll not bowl another ball because it's a wide or a no ball. So they can stop the over right away. Then bowler changing ends. A bowler shall be allowed to change ends as often as desired, provided he or she does not bowl 2 overs consecutively, nor bowl parts of each of 2 consecutive overs in the same innings. So a bowler cannot bowl 2 consecutive overs. Other than that, they can change the ends as much as they want. Finishing in over. Bowler must finish overs unless the innings ends. A bowler must complete any over they start, barring incapacitation or suspension. So once this happened to me, first over of the match, a bowler is bowling like 7 consecutive wides, and the bowler wants to stop and change the captain wants to stop and change the bowler, but we cannot allow that unless we are convinced there is an injury or the bowler is not able to bowl because of some injury. So the bowler has to complete that over. So the bowler must finish unless there is suspension or incapacitation of the bowler. Unfinished overs after breaks. If an over is interrupted, say by rain or other ground weather light, it must be completed when play resumes. So after 3 balls, the team goes out because of rain. When they come back, the remaining 3 balls should be completed by the same bowler. If a bowler can't continue an over due to injury or suspension, the following happens. Umpire calls a dead ball. a different bowler finishes the over from the same end, no consecutive overs. The new bowler cannot bowl 2 overs in a row or parts of 2 consecutive overs. That concludes the law over. So we'll see a few questions to check our understanding. First one is simple. How many valid deliveries constitute an over?
6.
6. When do you reckon that an over has started?
Bowler takes the run up.
What if the bowler doesn't have a run up?
Delivery action.
Yes. So when the bowler starts their run up, or if they don't have a run up, starts their delivery strike, the over starts off the first ball. When a ball is not counted as a valid delivery.
When
What
the
number you tell me? Yeah.
when a fielder coming back to the
Hmm.
ground without permission of the umpires, I think.
And touches the ball. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's good. Yeah. Anything else?
Without, I think, permission from the umpire.
Yeah. That
If
is the
you-
first point.
No, if
Fielder.
you start the over, I think also
Sorry?
when you deliver the ball without permission of the umpire.
No, I mean that's not a situation. How can you deliver without the permission of the umpire? Like, you don't need permission for that. Like, if you go out of the field and come back inside without permission, then you touch the ball. This is called as fielder returning without permission law. That is a separate law, 24.4. That ball will not be counted as one of the over. Then there are other basic
Distracting a batsman.
things. Yes.
Distracting a batsman.
Yeah, distraction. That's right. There are 2 types of distraction. Distraction before the ball is bowled, or distraction after the ball is bowled. The ball will not be counted as one of the over. That's great. Then one more. It's fielding the ball, which is you field with a hat or something that is not part of your body, say a towel you have, and if you use that, then that will not be counted as one of the things. So these are the 4 ways the ball will not be counted when there is a unfair play. But there are other ways, which is obvious ways, which are no ball, wide, and dead ball, that is called by umpire for any reason. When an umpire has to call over. Yes, sorry, any question? Okay. When an umpire has to call over?
When the ball is dead.
When the ball is dead, that's right. What happens when an umpire miscounts an over? What if they realize it after the 7th delivery, which happens to be an invalid one?
Umpire's verdict
After the-
stands, and if even in case of a 7th delivery, if the umpire has realized it at any given point in time, he can call it.
Perfect. When can a bowler change ends? They can
During
change.
the
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
They can change any time during the innings, but they cannot bowl the consecutive 2 overs.
Perfect. Yeah. What action do you take when a bowler is incapacitated or suspended during an over?
Call it a dead ball, and somebody else completes the over.
Perfect. And make sure that they don't bowl 2 consecutive overs. Yeah.
Navneeth, just a small clarification for point number 4. We have this in local playing conditions a lot. For when umpires has to call the over, sometimes the umpire thinks in the judgment the ball is not dead, but it's collected by one of the fielders and they call it over. Is that valid?
So sorry, could you repeat the question?
Let's say the ball is thrown, but it's not collected by the wicketkeeper or the bowler. It's collected by a fielder. but the umpire decides, well, the batsmen are not going to go for a run, and he calls it an over.
Yes. Yes, it is valid. It can be considered as dead ball. So I think 2 loss down will see dead ball. So when the umpire decide when the ball is dead. So it can one of the ways, if it is finally settled in the hands of a bowler or a wicketkeeper, it can be considered dead. Also, if the umpire thinks that there is no further plays involved, both the batting side and the fielding side has considered it dead, then the umpire can consider the ball dead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I'll move to law 18, scoring runs. A run is scored when the batters cross over and make good their ground from end to end while the ball is in play. So that is basically the definition of run. They have to cross over and make their ends. It could be runs by byes, but it could be runs by byes, leg byes. So this is one of the way. By running the runs, you get the runs. Then boundary is scored 4 or 6, and then award of penalty runs. Say 1 run for no ball or wide, or 5 runs to either side for unfair play. So there are many unfair play where 5 penalty runs are awarded. So these are the ways you can score runs. Runs disallowed and not scored. So scoring runs and awarding penalties are subject to any provisions of disallowing or not scored or non-award of penalties. So it is subjected to any provisions means, so you can take any runs, but there are provisions in the laws to disallow the runs you have already scored. So we have to take that into account also. When runs are disallowed, the 1 run penalty for no ball or wide shall stand, and 5 run penalty shall be allowed, except for penalties under law protective helmet belonging to the fielding side. There are situations where the runs are disallowed. Say if you're deliberate padding and the ball goes and hits the helmet behind the wicketkeeper. So that means that run is not allowed. That 5 run penalty will not be counted. But other penalties that happens before are no ball or wide, that will be counted.
It's sorry to interrupt, sir. It's this is actually not the question, but I like to clear that, which you just mentioned. If the ball hit the wicketkeeper helmet, and batsman try to cross, try to get the run, is that not counted? Is not awarded?
So maybe I was not clear. So it is awarded. 5 runs will be awarded, but there are some situations where the protective helmet belonging to the fielding side, when the ball hit the helmet, you will get 5 runs only if you are trying to play the ball. If you are not, or if it is a byes or leg byes, or if you are hit by the bat, if those are valid, then only you will get that 5 penalty runs. You deliberate when you do deliberate padding, say you kick the ball with your leg, then the ball goes and hits the helmet, that will not be counted. Then the 5 run penalty will not be counted. And whatever runs you run, that will be disallowed. Did you get my point?
Yeah, it's all on the
this happens when you are doing deliberate. Sorry.
It's depend on the batsman. If lefting a ball or he trying to play the ball and miss the ball. I got it. I understand clearly.
Yeah. So it's called when there is a deliberate padding, when the batter has no intention to play, and then it hits the batter and ball rolls down to the helmet, then they don't deserve a run. They are not legally bound to get a run. So that's when the runs will be disallowed, or in the penalty. Going to next to short runs. A run is short if the batter the voice coming from
Ayaz, you're breaking up. Cannot hear you properly.
Okay, I wasn't speaking. I was waiting for the heads up to ask the question.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. You want you
Okay.
have something? So sorry,
My
sir.
question was, sorry, I was interrupting you. My question was,
Yes.
if the batter has no intention to hit the ball and the
Yes.
ball went past by the keeper and hits the helmet, is it counts as a 5 runs?
Does the batter touch the ball?
No, the batter has no intentions to touch the ball, but it went past by keeper and hit the helmet.
Yeah, that is still buys, and so they'll get 5 runs then. But
All
if
right.
it touches the batter, then the
Mhm.
leg buys will not be counted because the batter did not play the ball. That is when the runs will be disallowed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So one thing, I'm not seeing the call window when I'm presenting. I'm seeing the presentation, and nobody else is right now moderating the session. So feel free to interrupt me. I might not see if you raise your hand. So you just you feel free to interrupt me and ask any questions you have.
Okay.
So scoring runs. Short runs. So a run is short if a batter fails to make his or her ground in turning for a further run. So if they don't reach beyond, so this sometimes people did not do not get they. You should know what is reaching beyond the crease, because the crease is always inside edge. So if it is towards the stem, inside edge towards the stem. So if you are touching the bat, it should be completely over the other side of the crease. You cannot touch the marking of the crease, outside marking of the crease, and assume that you have reached. So you have to completely go on the other side of the crease. So that is when you make good of your ground. So if that does not happen, it is called as short run. Run next to the short run is not a short run. Say if your first run is short, then the second run will be counted. You run 2 runs, first run is short, second run will be counted. So even if both the batters are running short runs, if the first run is short, if the second run is completed, it is 1 run that will be counted. Unintentional short runs. So there are 2 ways there can be short runs. One is unintentional short run. The other one is deliberate short runs. Unintentional short runs, what happens? If either batter runs a short run, the umpire concerned shall, unless a boundary is scored, call and signal short run as soon as the ball becomes dead, and that run shall not be scored. So you have to call short run when the ball is dead. So if you are writing level 2 or especially level 3, it is very important to know for all the laws when the ball becomes dead. So and what actions you have to do after the ball becomes dead or before the ball becomes dead. So here the calling of short run will should happen after the ball becomes dead. Short run is immaterial if boundary is scored unless there is a overthrow. So if boundary is scored, the number of runs they run is not. If it is less than 4, it is immaterial. If both batters run short in one and the same run, this shall be regarded as only one short run. If more than 1 run is short, then all runs called as short shall not be scored. If they run 3 runs and if they are short for first run and second run also, then only 1 run, the third run will be scored. If there has been more than 1 short run, the umpire shall inform the scorer as to the number of runs to be recorded. So the umpire should confirm that how many runs should be scored after a short run. It is a general practice to note down some unusual situations like short runs, and when there is a break, check with the scorer that they have marked it correctly. Or if you have walkie-talkie, it is better to check with them that they marked short runs, or say if there are penalties or some unusual situation like that happens, it is always good to make sure that you check with the scorer that it has been marked correctly.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
For the short run, there should be we write in the extra, or maybe where should be that place? If umpire,
if it is off the bat, then it is it goes to the batter. If it is byes, it will go to the byes. If it is leg byes, it is leg byes. So it is
no. I just I just want to clear that short run. So short run, if we say umpire signal for short run.
Yes.
And you say if you go out and you can check, so might be where that should be placed in extras, or how
No,
they.
14.2, the ball that over 14th over 15th over second ball, it's a short run. So you note say 1 run or 2 runs, you note it in your match card. So then you go and check if they have marked 1 run or 2 runs for that particular ball. It just goes to the batter. So it is not, you don't mark it specifically somewhere else.
Okay, that's my question. So it's not marked like a special, like a plenty runs, 5 plenty runs. That's
No.
That's my question.
Umpire note it down to make sure that it is marked correctly by the scorer. That is all. But the scorer, they instead of 2 runs, they write 1 run. That is all the difference. But it is
okay.
same.
Go to the batsman. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So we have seen unintentional short runs, but there can be a deliberate short run. Okay, that YouTube video. Okay. So there can be a deliberate short run. So there are different consequences for if the umpire considers that the short run is intentional. So umpire calls short run and informs the other umpire. So whoever the concerned umpire notices, they'll call short run and inform the umpire. And what happens is no runs for the batting side. So all the runs that is scored will be disallowed if it is an intentional short run, and the batter return to their original position, and any no ball or wide penalties still apply. 5 penalty runs awarded to the fielding side. So if you intentionally run short, 5 penalty runs should be will be awarded to the fielding side.
Okay.
I have a question here. How do you decide whether it is an intentional short run? What situation would that be?
I'll come to that. Yeah. So other applicable 5 penalty runs are also awarded, except for helmet belonging to the fielding side. So even in this case, if penalty runs, if the ball hit the helmet, you will not give 5 penalty runs in case if there is a deliberate short run in that ball. And you have to do there is a reporting procedure for unfair play. This is an unfair play. What you have to do is you have to inform first of all, inform the scorers how many runs are scored, because you are disallowing all the runs and giving 5 runs to the fielding side. Then you have to inform the other umpire, the captains, both the captains, and also to the governing body that is involved, match authorities. So coming back to your question, how to decide if it is intentional short run or not, it is actually completely up to the judgment of the umpire, based on if the match situation and how short they are. Like if it is obviously short run and all those things has to be decided based on the umpire. There is a video here we'll see to better understand the situation. I'll stop this and present the video. This I think Karen Pollard, I have seen it live once, but this is a situation from BBL that we'll see right now. Just a minute. Chrome tab, YouTube, share.
Gee, it was a pretty well positioned throw, wasn't it?
Nice work, Maxi.
I think they're talking about a non-striker perhaps leaving the box, leaving the crease a little bit prematurely, I believe.
Oh,
there you go.
Right, yeah.
So Maxi,
No wonder you didn't run him out.
It was for a deliberate running short. So Tim David's run down, knew he just had to touch about a metre out of the crease to be able to get back and face the last delivery.
So as you have seen here, it is last over of the match, last over of the innings, and Tim David won strike, and the amount of the difference from the crease and his bat you can see. So you have to check all these parameters to see if it is a deliberate short run or a unintentional short run. So once the umpire is sure that it is a deliberate short run, then you disallow all the runs. Then you return any not out batsman to their original end. Then you award 5 penalty runs to the fielding side. Then you inform to both the captains and the match authorities.
I believe there are 2 different signals for 5 penalty runs for the batting side and the fielding side, or they're the same signal?
It is. I hope you see my screen. So you put your hand across to the opposite shoulder and keep it like that for fielding side, and you tap it if it is for batting. The way to remember is batter hit, so you tap, and you don't tap if it is a fielding side.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay. You see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then runs awarded for penalty runs. So there are various ways where the penalty runs are awarded, and it's listed out here. So 18.5 deliberate short runs that we saw. Then for no ball 1 run you get, and white ball 1 run you get. So no ball and white ball are marked separately in the scoring cards, and leg byes and byes are also marked separately in scoring cards. And penalty runs are marked separately. You will have a space in the score sheet, I mean. And there are other penalties. 24.4 player returning without permission that we saw. Practice on the field contravention. So when you practice on the field, when we come to that law, we will see that you can get 5 penalty runs if you practice on the field during play. Illegal movement by wicket keeper. So that also we will see, which is where the wicket keeper moves too much when the ball is being bowled. Illegal fielding and fielder's helmet when it is hitting the helmet, or the fielder fielding with cap or a towel, something like that. Illegal movement by a fielder when the fielder moves sidewards or backwards when the ball is being bowled. Unfair play. There are many situations in unfair play. We'll separately see. And players conduct. Law 41 and 42 will dedicate 1 day for that, and we'll see those things. So these are the situations where penalties are scored. But there are restrictions when awarding penalty runs under law. Deliberate padding that we discussed, and conduct of runner, that is with runner is we call by runner, that we don't really apply, but it is still there in laws. And fielder's helmet placed on the field, hit the ball twice, batter damaging the pitch, striker on protected areas. So these are the laws that have some exceptions for penalties that we will see when we come to those laws.
A quick question, if a fielder, for example, is on silly mid on a silly point, so and he's wearing a helmet and the ball hit on his helmet, that's not the penalty, right?
No. So here, hitting the helmet means the helmet that is not worn by the fielder. If it is worn by the fielder, then that is part of the person. Even the cap or towel or those things, you are wearing it, it is part of your person. But if you keep it outside, then the penalty comes into play.
Perfect.
And recently, like in Ranji Trophy match in India, Kerala versus, I believe, I forgot who the opponent was, but
Vidarbha at Nagpur.
Vidarbha played finals, but in semi-finals, they got the first innings lead by 2 runs. So what happens is in silly mid-on, the ball hit the fielder's helmet, then they got a catch. So
that was Gujarat.
That was Gujarat. Okay. So so that is still ball in play. Fielder, if the fielder is wearing the helmet, then it is part of the fielder.
So that was out, right?
That was out. Yeah. As per the new rules for the last 3 years, at least it is out. There were some old rules that we don't want to, that is not relevant right now. So runs scored for boundaries, we have 4 or 6 for boundaries. That is the general rule. There can be some agreement if it is a private tournament to have different counting for the boundaries, but 4 or 6 is the conventional score for boundaries. Runs scored when batter is dismissed. When a batter gets out, only penalty runs count. No other runs are scored unless it is one of the specific exceptions below, which is obstructing the field. Runs completed before the obstruction are counted unless the obstruction prevents a catch. Run out, runs completed before the wicket was put down are counted unless a runner is involved in a specific type of run out, that is having a runner, in which case those runs are disallowed. So whenever the wicket falls, the runs are not counted unless there is an obstruction field, where the obstruction happens after the completion of runs. It is not a catch. That will be counted, and run out before run out, how many the runs scored will be counted. Runs scored when the ball becomes red, other than at the fall of a wicket. When the ball becomes red, not due to wicket, penalty runs are awarded as usual. The batting team also gets any runs they completed before the ball becomes red, plus the run in progress. If they had crossed at the moment, the ball becomes red. Exception, there are special rules for, again, there are exceptions that we will see when the runs are disallowed when we come to that law. Crediting of runs scored. Unless stated otherwise in any of the laws, if the ball is struck by the bat, all the runs scored by the batting side shall be credited to the striker, except for the following. An award of 5 penalty runs scored as penalty runs. One penalty of no ball scored as no ball extra. So no ball the batter does not get, penalty runs the batter does not get, but all other runs scored of the bat goes to the batter. If the ball is not struck by the bat, run shall be scored as either penalty runs, byes or leg byes, no ball extras or wide, as the case may be. If byes or leg byes scored from a no ball, 1 run penalty for no ball, and the remainder as byes or leg byes as appropriate. The bowler shall be debited with all runs scored by the striker. All the runs scored as no ball extras, all other runs are scored as no ball extras and wides. So batter returning to the original end. So there are cases where the batter has to return to their original end. We'll see when that happens. Batter shall return to his or her original end when the injured striker himself is dismissed, run out, or a batter is out caught, bowled, stumped, hit the ball twice, LBW, hit wicket, caught, and obstructing or distracting the field for preventing a catch. So all these types of wickets, the batter goes to the original end. A boundary is scored, then again the batter goes to the original end. Runs are disallowed for any reason. There are situations where the runs are disallowed. We saw one of the reasons is deliberate short runs. So again, the batter has to go to the end they were before. The batters choose the end under law 41.5, deliberate distraction or obstruction of batter. So when there is a deliberate distraction or obstruction of a batter, we will see in law 41 during play.
I have a question.
You can, just a minute, you can choose which end the batter can choose which end to play. So in that case, you go to the end you choose. Yes. What is it?
So just to clarify, if a batsman, if a bowler bowls a no ball,
okay,
the batsman hits it for a 6.
Okay.
So it's 7 runs total that is credited to the batting team. How is it scored for the batsman and for the bowler? Is it the batsman gets 6 runs and the ball is not counted in batsman's runs? Like if the batsman is on 10 runs and he scores a 6 out of if the batsman is at 10 runs of 10 balls and he scores a 6 of no ball, then does it become 6? Does it score 16 of 10 balls or 11 balls?
11 balls.
So So there is a extra ball that would be counted on batsman's side, but it won't be counted on bowling side. Is that correct? Because it's a no ball. So bowler, it won't be counted
Yes.
in the bowler. In the
Yes.
bowler's this thing, right?
Yes. It will not be counted for the ball. Will not be counted for bowler, and for the purpose of strike rate calculation, I believe it will be counted for batter.
So basically, there would be more number of balls if there are several no balls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
But I'll have to. This is not straight away mentioned in the laws, or maybe I missed it. But I believe it is 11 balls. But I'll cross check and confirm with you in the next session.
Okay. And also the bowler, the 7 runs goes into no ball, or it goes 1 run into no ball and 6 runs in the bowler's this thing. How is it counted? This is also one of the things that we are not able to, capture in the scoring sheet.
Okay.
Because everyone is confused.
Okay. Again, it's a scoring thing, and I'm not sure here. So I'll check this one also and get back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Sorry. Is it not similar to wides? Because when we have a wide, it does count in the bowler's tally too.
Yeah. So if it is a wide, it is mentioned as, say, wide 4. It is 5 wides goes to the bowler. That is true. But
I think I remember, sorry to interrupt, that if it is a no ball and it goes for 4 run in the back, so it's gonna be 1 no ball with 4 byes, and umpire has to give 2 signals, first no ball and then he has to raise back to give up a bye.
Yeah. So signals that they'll have to give separately, and that will be done. But so here this question is: so if no ball, the batter would have played more number of balls, then when you tally, the number of balls played by the batter will be more than the number of valid deliveries. But I believe that will be the case when scoring, and for calculation of strike rate purpose, it will be 11 balls, 16 runs, as the case mentioned in the question. Thank you for this question. I'll cross-check this and confirm about how exactly to score this. And we'll move on to batter returning to original end we saw, and batter returning to the wicket he has left. So the not out batter or the batter shall return to the wicket they have left if they have not crossed, obstructing the field, not preventing a catch, or run out, other than injured striker himself being run out. When the umpire calls and signals dead ball, or the ball becomes dead for any reason, so then the batter has to return to the wicket he or she has left. That now it is the end of the law scoring runs. These are the questions to check our understanding. So when is a run set to be scored? So this is when the batsmen make their crossover and make their ends. So what is a short run? And when they don't may properly reach their ground. What action is taken for unintentional short runs and deliberate short runs? Yeah, somebody can answer this.
For deliberate short runs, you would award the penalty, 5 penalty runs to the fielding side.
Anything else?
And the unintentional is just signal to the scorers.
Okay. So unintentional is the easier one. First, we'll answer that. Once the ball is dead, you signal it to the scorer. The concerned umpire shall signal it, and if there are multiple short runs, they make sure make sure they convey how many runs to be scored. So that is for unintentional short runs. So what all actions you will take for deliberate short runs?
For the deliberate short run, they have to dismiss all the runs and plus awarded 5 penalty runs to the fielding side.
Exactly. So you disallow all the runs. you return the not out batter to their original end, you award 5 penalty runs to the fielding side, then you inform it to the captains and concerned authorities.
But the wides and no balls will still count,
Yes,
right?
so yeah, that is a good point. So no ball and wide will stand. Yeah. What action? Yes.
I have a question here, please, regarding the the intentional short run. Do the umpire needs to consult each other before coming to a decision, or only one umpire can?
There's always so the umpire who sees will call the thing, say striker and umpire or the leg umpire. He or she sees the deliberate short run. It is their jurisdiction and they'll call. But it is always a good practice to consult before making a decision on unfair play.
Okay, thank you.
What action do umpires take when the run is short but the ball crosses the boundary?
It's a boundary.
It's a boundary, no action required. What this signal boundary? What are the occasions when runs awarded for penalty? There are we saw there are lot of occasions that is mentioned there. It is difficult to remember, but it is good. But we'll have to know what all the occasions and understand each and everything. We'll see it in different laws in the future. Are any runs scored when a batter is dismissed? If yes, when and what are the type of runs? Anybody? When the wicket falls, when can run be scored?
When is there no ball?
Yeah.
No run out.
Penalties are there. No ball wide penalties will apply. Other
The
than
second
that,
one, when batsman run out on the second run, 1 run is count.
so runs completed before run out. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more. One more point is when there, anybody? When there is an obstruction of field, so the runs completed before the obstruction will be counted. So the obstruction is not preventing a catch. If it is preventing obstruction is preventing a catch, then no runs. The striker will be out. Otherwise, when the obstruction happens, before that you complete 1 or 2 runs, whatever, the run will be counted. Are there any occasions when a batter is dismissed but both runs scored and penalties are scored? So that we saw when batter is dismissed, runs and penalties can be scored. What is the difference between runs disallowed and runs not scored? So this I've not clearly explained. So runs disallowed is when because of some law, say we saw deliberate short run, like that there are other laws, the runs will be disallowed. And there are situations when the runs are not scored at all. Say for a catch, you run before completion of catch, that runs are not scored. What are the provisions in the laws when runs can be scored when the ball becomes dead, other than when a batter is dismissed or the ball is called dead ball? In the laws when runs can be scored when the ball becomes dead. All the penalty runs that can be scored. Yeah. What are the occasions when batters return to their original end?
Dead ball.
So
Deliberate shots run.
So when the runs are disallowed, dead ball is called when they have not crossed, and before that the dead ball is called. then they'll come to their original end. So here we'll see when the boundary is scored, they go to the original end. Then when there is a wicket falls, most of the type of wicket except run out and obstruction of field, that is not preventing a catch, and batter choose a particular end because of a distraction of batter by law 41.5. How many runs are scored when both the batters run short but the ball crosses the boundary?
Boundary. Oh, sorry, boundary plus 1.
Why boundary plus 1?
No, just the boundary because both the
No,
runs
it's
were
just the
short.
boundary. Sorry.
It doesn't matter how many runs they run unless they run. If it is a 4, if they run 5 runs, then 5 runs will be counted. Otherwise, the boundary will be counted. The number of runs they run will, or the short runs will not matter.
What if they do a deliberate short run and the ball crosses the boundary?
So it will not be counted. So the ball, when there is a boundary, short runs are immaterial.
Even a deliberate short run.
Yeah.
So what if it's an overthrow scenario?
Overthrow scenario and
initially they had a deliberate short run, and then the ball was overthrown, and then it reaches the boundary.
Then it counts as a boundary.
Deliberate short run, then overthrow resulting in a boundary, then then the deliberate short run should be valid. That's a really good question.
But would it be that 5 runs would be counted, or there will be no runs counted and 5 penalties would be given to the?
No runs will be counted and 5 penalty runs will be given.
Okay.
So in that case, we are not going to penalize the batting side for the deliberate short run.
They will penalize.
So then, how many runs do you score?
0 runs for the batting side, 5 runs for the fielding side.
So they lose a run. The batting side.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Okay, but I like to add something. If in that case, if somebody like a regional, the both batsmen completed 1 run, and then the overthrow come, but it's not reached the boundary, right? And they came back for the 2nd or 3rd, but in the meantime they throw and the boundary and the ball hit the boundary. So how you consider how many runs there should be? Is more than 5?
Sorry.
For example, they complete 3 runs between the throws, right?
Yeah.
And then the ball reached the boundary.
Okay.
Overthrow. So is that considered more than 5 runs, 6 runs?
It will be 7 runs, but we will see if overthrow in boundaries law. That is, I believe, the next law where it will be clear. And so what happens? What we will see is overthrow is considered if it is going to the boundary from the moment the throw considered the number of runs completed before the willful act or the throw. That many runs should be counted. So they've crossed 2 runs. First run is completed, 2nd run is crossed. Then the overthrow happens. Then it will be 6 runs.
6 runs. But how many? Maximum you can do like this. For example, if it's three attempts, 4 attempts, it do happen during the game.
Yeah. There is.
What's the maximum?
There is no limit at all until the ball.
There's no limited. Okay.
Yeah,
That's my
until
question.
the ball becomes dead, you can continue playing.
Okay, I got my answer. Thank you.
Rahul here. I have something to add.
Yes.
Partha's question, right?
Yes.
Where he talked about like a deliberate short run.
Yes.
And then the ball being overthrown by the fielder.
Yes.
So as long as my understanding is correct, I think since all runs are disallowed because the batters made that violation, so all runs are disallowed.
Yes.
But in this process, the fielding team can still run the batters out, right? In run out. So when the fielding team overthrows the ball, that's not a batting team's violation, that's a fielding team's violation. So the overthrows should count. But any runs scored by the batters during the deliberate runs would not be. So the boundary overthrows, if the overthrows results into a boundary, then I think the boundary should be counted even.
Yeah. So once the unfair play has happened, it is considered as dead ball, and you delay the dead ball so as to allow them
Right.
to get a chance of run out. You don't take away the chance of fielding team to run out the batter. So that is why you delay the call of dead ball. But otherwise, the moment the unfair play happens, the ball is dead. So that is why whatever happens, such as overthrow after that, will not be counted.
Sorry, I'm confused because there were two answers, one from Rahul and one from Navneeth. We just want to know which do we count the batsman's run or overthrow or not when there is a deliberate run out?
Deliberate short run, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, short run.
Actually,
Yeah, short.
Ashok, Navneet is actually correct because you just delay the call of dead ball until the play is over, because batters are running, bowling team can still run them out, but once the ball becomes dead, then and it becomes dead at the instance of the deliberate short run, right? So that is the determination the umpire makes, and once the actual play is dead, all runs are disallowed, even if the overthrow results into a boundary. So yeah, I think there are a lot of things in this, but an umpire should know where the determination has to be made and what scenarios have taken place. So yeah, but his answer is correct, an explanation as well.
Okay, so on this, if there is an overthrow and there is a deliberate short run and there is an overthrow and the batsmen are still running, if there is a run out in this case after the deliberate short run has been taken, is the run out applicable?
Yes, it is.
Is justified.
Okay.
So you call the short run after the ball becomes dead.
Okay, so it's just for the run out that the call is delayed.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the runs are not given to the batsman. No,
Yeah.
no run
They
is given to
return
the
the
batting
runs,
side.
but it will be disallowed and they'll be returned to their original ends. If
Okay.
not out batter will be returned to their original end.
Okay, thank you.
To remember is, like, you have to give the fielding team enough opportunity, and if there is a possibility of a run out, because the batters are making that mistake, and it should not penalize the fielding team to affect a dismissal. So you give the fielding team that opportunity. If they do, then yes, that dismissal will be counted as well.
So ideally, in my case, so the answer to my question, is so 4 runs are allowed, and then you award the 5 penalty runs to the batting team.
No,
right?
4 is not allowed.
Allowed, Partha, because that happened after the ball is deemed to be dead by the umpires at the instant of deliberate shot running. But you just have to prolong the play to affect any run out, or let the play go through in its natural course.
Okay, even though if it hits the helmet as well, like the fielders, the keepers, any.
Yeah.
Like, I think once the deliberate shot run happens, the ball is presumed to be dead in the umpire's eye, but just for the sake of other dismissals possible, you let the play continue, and anything after that happens is irrelevant.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
We have a similar and less complicated question. Number 13. How many runs are scored when the batters run a short run before the instant of the throw, and the overthrow crosses the boundary line? Anybody?
It's a boundary.
Boundary.
How many runs are scored?
4.
Just the boundary.
Sorry?
Boundary plus the score that they run. They all
Boundary plus the completed runs. So if they run 2 runs and the first run is short and they've crossed the second run, then it is 1 plus 4, 5 runs. So you'll lose 1 run for the short run, but you will get the second run and the boundary 5 runs.
So also one more question, Navneeth.
Yes.
This is a hypothetical as well. So, like, so if a ball hits the helmet and then reaches the boundary, so total of 9 runs.
Ball hits the helmet, the ball becomes dead. By helmet, you mean the helmet placed on the ground, no?
Keeper,
Not
keeper, yeah, keeper's helmet.
the moment ball hits the helmet, the ball becomes dead. We'll see it in red ball now.
Can you please clear again this the last thing we're discussing?
Yes.
The helmet placing where?
So generally, the keeper keeps the helmet behind it. The protective helmet behind when they are not wearing for fast bowler, they'll keep it behind. No, so
Okay.
the ball hits that helmet. The batting team gets when the ball is in play. If the ball hits the helmet, the batting team gets 5 penalty runs. And the moment ball hits the helmet, the ball automatically becomes dead.
All right. Even it's crossed the boundary after that.
Yeah, whatever happens after is not relevant.
It's not okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? We'll move to the next law, boundaries. So the boundary of the field, agree on the boundary with the captains before the toss for the duration of the match. So if there are any, generally if you play there regularly, it is fine. But if there are any any discrepancies, you agree with the captains before. Say there is a goal post in the field of play, there is a whatever any obstructions that is coming, that should be agreed. What will happen if ball touches there should be agreed before the toss with the captains. Side screen should be wholly outside the boundary line. So whenever there is a side screen, that should always be outside the boundary line. So boundaries, identifying and marking the boundaries. Clear marking. Boundaries should be marked with a continuous white line or a grounded object. Line edge. If a line is used, the edge closest to the pitch is the boundary. So if there is a thick line, the inside edge that is closest to the stumps, that is the boundary line. Objects like flags should be placed beyond the boundary line and are not the boundary itself. So there will be a boundary marking, but there will also be flags that to signify the boundary. So the flags must be placed outside the boundary, and the line inside will be considered as the boundary. Imaginary lines, if there is a continuous marking, objects can mark points and the boundaries and imaginary straight line between them. Say if you keep cones for a boundary, the imaginary straight line that is connecting the cones, that is the boundary. If the boundary isn't clear, the umpire decide before the toss. As I said, if there is a goal post or a tree or something is obstructing the boundary, you have to agree with the captains before the toss what has to be done. Obstacles aren't boundaries unless the umpire decides so before the toss, as we have said. And if there are people, animals, or object entering the field, inside the boundary field aren't boundaries unless the umpire decide otherwise at the time of contact with the ball. So say a dog runs in and the ball hits the dog, the umpire calls dead ball, then it is umpire's jurisdiction to give boundary or not. Restoring the boundary. If a solid object used to mark the boundary is disturbed for any reason, then the boundary shall be considered to be in its original position. The object shall be returned to its original position. If playing takes place, this shall be as soon as the ball is dead. If some part of the fence or other marker has come within the field of play, that part shall be removed from the field of play as soon as practicable. If play is taking place, this shall happen as soon as the ball is dead. So if the boundary is moved for any reasons from its original position during the play, we should put it back in its original place whenever possible after the ball is dead. Ball grounded beyond the boundary. So when this ball is considered grounded beyond the boundary. The ball in play is grounded beyond the boundary if it touches the boundary or any part of an object used to mark the boundary. The ground beyond the boundary, any object that is grounded beyond the boundary. The ball in play is to be regarded as being grounded beyond the boundary if a fielder grounded beyond the boundary touches the ball. A fielder, after catching the ball within the boundary, becomes grounded beyond the boundary while in contact the ball before completing the catch. Fielder is grounded beyond the boundary if some part of his or her person is in contact with any of the following: the boundary or any part of an object used to mark the boundary. So if the fielder touches any part of the boundary, it's grounded beyond the boundary. The ground beyond the boundary, any object that is in contact with the ground beyond the boundary. Another fielder who's grounded beyond the boundary if the umpire considers that it was the intention of either fielder that the contact should assist in the fielding of the ball. So if there are two fielders, one fielder is touching the boundary and the fielder touching the ball is touching the fielder, that will also be considered as boundary, provided that it is the intention that they touch, for the intention of touching is to assist in the fielding. So this is the law, but I believe there is a slight change in the playing condition. Intention doesn't matter in as far as I know in the playing conditions. When a fielder touches the boundary and you with the ball touch the fielder, then it is a boundary. A fielder who is in contact with the ground is considered to be grounded beyond the boundary if his or her final contact with the ground before his first contact with the ball after it has been delivered by the bowler was not entirely within the boundary. So your first contact should be from within the boundary, and you should never be beyond the boundary, and your last contact also should be within the boundary. We'll see a video to better understand this.
Boundary catching. In cricket, a catch is considered to be fair if the fielder is within the field of play and the ball hasn't touched the ground before he or she catches it. The fielder must have complete control both over the ball and his or her own movement. Can a batsman be caught over the boundary? Well, this being cricket, the answer is yes and no. If the fielder catches the ball like this, with part of the body grounded outside the field of play, then the lucky old batsman is not only not out, but also scores a 6. However, if in the same situation the fielder has leapt for the ball from within the boundary, but not from outside it, caught it whilst airborne over the boundary, but managed to throw it up in the air before touching the ground, he or she can then step back into the field of play to complete the catch. It doesn't matter if the fielder throws it to a teammate or completes the catch on his or her own. In this scenario, the same batsman who just scored 6 would in fact have been out. As they frequently say, the funny old game. For Oodle's more details,
Yes. We'll see one more video. Tell me if it's out or not.
Here we go. Right, that's good. Releases before he. This is going to be the magic ball theory if he somehow. Oh, hang on. It started out of the field of play though.
So
Not out.
not out. Why it's not out?
Because it had out of the boundary. It's out.
It's out.
So what happens is the first touch is contacting from within the boundary. I'll play the video again. So
I think it is an out because as long as he was inside the boundary before the ball contact with his hand, it's out because he's not outside of the boundary.
So he is first contact. It is from within the boundary.
Oh, that's good. Releases before he.
He's releasing it before going beyond the boundary.
This is going to be the magic ball theory if he somehow.
He's in air, so he's still not beyond the boundary.
Oh, hang on. It started.
Final contact is within the boundary. So it meets all the criteria for a catch. The fielder was never fielder or the ball never grounded beyond the boundary. So it's out caught.
Here we go.
Any questions? Okay. So boundary 11 shall be agreed with both the captains. So it's generally 4 and 6 for boundaries, but in private tournaments, they can have a different agreement. Runs scored from boundaries. A boundary 6 can be scored only if it has been struck by the bat and it has is first grounded beyond the boundary. So one important point to notice, a 6 can be scored only if it is struck from the bat. So a leg by 6 is not possible, or a overthrow 6 is not possible. So it has to be through the bat and the ball has to ground beyond the boundary for a boundary 6 to happen. A boundary 4 will be scored when a ball that is grounded beyond the boundary, whether struck by bat or not, was first grounded within the boundary or has not been struck by the bat. When a boundary is scored, the batting team gets the higher number of runs between the automatic boundary 11s or the runs completed by the batters plus the run in progress if they had crossed when the boundary happened. So the boundary happens, it can happen. I've seen in 90s, MCG ground is so big that people can even run 5 runs before the ball reaches boundary. So you complete 4 runs and you cross your 5th run before the ball reaches boundary, then you get 5 runs instead of 4 runs. So the whichever is higher will take precedence. If batters run more than boundary 11s, then batter returning to the wicket will not be applied. So if they run 5 runs, then the strike will change accordingly. The scoring of penalty runs by either side is not affected by the scoring of boundary. Overthrow or willful act. If a boundary happens because of an overthrow or a fielder doing something on purpose, that is a willful act, the batting team gets any penalty runs, no ball wide or other penalty runs, the boundary 11s, 4 or 6, any runs already completed by the batters plus the run in progress if they had crossed when the overthrow act has happened. So it is important to see when the overthrow act has happened. So when they start throwing, that and number of runs completed and crossed before that will only be counted, not before the ball goes to the boundary. So at the act of willful act or overthrow, how many runs completed and crossed is what we have to check for deciding the number of runs. This also affects where the batters need to return for the next ball. So now we'll see questions for boundaries. When do you agree on the boundary of the field of play and what else you ensure while agreeing? Anybody? Tell me, when do you agree on the boundary of the field of play with the captains?
Sorry, the start of the game, sir?
It should be before the toss.
Yeah, before the toss, yeah.
How is a boundary defined and marked? We have seen different points where what are for the different types of boundary. It is always inside edge, the boundary line. Inside edge that is closest to the pitch is the boundary line. When is a boundary set to be scored? When the ball is grounded beyond? When do you consider that the ball is beyond the boundary? There are various things we saw when the ball is grounded beyond the boundary. I hope you understood that. How many runs are allowed for a boundary?
4 or 6.
4 or 6, unless more runs they run before that.
If there's a no ball.
Can more than boundary allowance be scored when the ball crosses the boundary?
No.
No. So,
What?
can more than boundary allowance be scored when the ball crosses the boundary?
Yes.
How?
Yeah, before the ball reach to the boundary, in the meantime, if you completing more.
Have to complete more, or
yeah, complete more runs. I think that's we.
So you complete or even cross. Like if I complete 4 runs, and if I crossed both batters crossed for the 5th run, that is also enough for the 5 runs to happen.
Yeah, more runs than boundary. Yeah.
Yeah. How many runs are scored when an overthrow or willful act of the fielder results in a boundary?
As much as they can.
How many runs are scored? I mean, if the overthrow boundary happens, so what is the number of
It's
runs?
the boundary plus the score that they have run. They made it.
They have crossed. They have
They
completed.
have crossed plus the boundary.
Exactly, at the instant of the overthrow.
Yep.
Okay.
Complete runs.
Completed, also crossed. So if they complete first run and they have crossed second run at the instant of throw, then they'll get 6 runs. If they have not crossed, then it will be 5 runs at the moment of throw or willful act.
Okay.
So we have finished boundaries. Then next law is dead ball. Dead ball. So there are 2 ways the ball. There are 2 types of dead balls. One is the ball is automatically dead, and the other situation is ball is call and signal dead ball by the umpire. Umpire during the field, they'll call dead and make it dead. So we'll see initially automatically dead. The ball becomes dead when it is finally settled in the hands of either wicketkeeper or the bowler. When a boundary is scored, a batter is dismissed, the ball is considered dead from the moment of the incident that caused the dismissal. So, if say for LBW, you cannot get leg byes even though the wicket is the decision is delayed. You cannot get, because the moment it happens, the ball becomes dead. Whether played or not, it becomes trapped between the bat and person of a batter, or between the item of his or clothing or equipment. So it gets stuck in the between the pads of pad and leg of the batter. The ball is dead. You cannot go and grab it for a catch or something. Whether played or not, it lodges in the clothing or equipment of a batter or the clothing of an umpire. So that will also become automatically dead. Ball will be automatically dead. There is an award of 5 penalty runs under the law 24.4. Players returning without permission, fielding the ball. So ball becomes automatically dead when this happens, and also the ball does not count as one of the over. Player returning without permission is they went out of the ground and come in without the permission of the umpire.
Can I interrupt you, sir?
Yes.
For example, the bowler, he delivered one ball, right?
Okay.
So after that, the player returning without permission, that he touched the ball. So that ball, you say, is not count one of over. The ball shall not count as one of the over. So that's a confused little.
It should happen during when the ball is in play.
Okay. But that delivery, what happened to delivery? Like, for example, he start the over. The bowler start the over. He deliver first ball.
Yes.
The ball goes to that player. He returning without permission. So okay. So that ball is dead.
That ball, when he touches, if the ball is in play, he's a fielder in mid-off, and the ball goes to mid-off. He touches the ball. That ball is dead automatically. The moment he touches, the ball becomes dead, and the batting team gets 5 penalty runs for that.
Oh, ball is dead. Okay, it's not, but it's still counted as a bowler, right?
The ball will not be counted. The ball will not be counted.
Okay, so he gonna bowl 6 ball again. That's my
Yeah,
question.
if it is a first ball, they have to bowl 6 balls again.
Okay, I got it. Okay, that's clear. Thank you, sir.
There are 4 occasions when the ball will not count as one of the over. One is player returning without permission. Next is fielding the ball, which is if they are fielding with cap or towel or something that is not part of you, then that will be ball will becomes dead immediately. And there are 2 more occasions, that is distraction of batters during the bowling or after bowling. That will also not count as one of the over. So now we are dead ball. There is a contravention of law 28.3, that is protective helmets belonging to the fielding side. So somebody asked what happens if the ball hits the helmet and goes to the boundary. As you can see here, the moment the ball hits the helmet, the ball becomes automatically dead. The match is concluded in any of the ways stated in law 12.9. We saw conclusion of the match. So when the match is concluded, the ball becomes dead. Anything happens afterward will not be counted. So there are 8 ways the ball automatically becomes dead. So in exams, there can be questions, especially if you're writing level 2, they can even ask all 8 of them. So you'll have to remember the ways the ball automatically becomes dead, or at least some of the ways. Even for level 1, they might ask, say, 4 ways you mention the ball automatically becomes dead. So you'll have to remember these things. The ball shall be considered to be dead when it is clear to the bowlers and umpire that the fielding side and both batters at the wicket have ceased to regard it as in play. So someone asked a question about calling an over when it is not collected, the ball is not collected by the keeper. So if both the batting side and fielding side considered the ball is ceased to be in play, then the umpire can consider the ball to be dead. Whether the ball is finally settled or not is a matter for the umpire alone to decide. So umpire decides if the ball is settled or not in the hands of wicketkeeper or a bowler. Neither the call of over nor the call of time is to be made until the ball is dead. So you call over or time only when after the ball is dead. When the ball has become dead under 20.1, 20.1 is the 8 ways that we saw in the previous slide. The bowlers and umpire may call and signal dead ball if it is necessary to inform the player. Usually the ball is dead at the moment the incident happens. Sometimes, to be fair, the umpire waits to call dead ball. In these cases, the ball is dead when the umpire calls it. So there are situations when the ball is automatically dead, and there are situations where you call and signal dead ball. And sometimes you delay the dead ball call so that it does not disadvantage the side that did not do any mistake. So you have to be careful when you're calling dead ball. So these are the ways where either umpire calls and signals dead ball. Unfair play occurs. A player or umpire is seriously injured. So that's a 2 different point. When there is an unfair play occurs, you call and signal dead ball. There are various ways unfair play can occur. We will see in law 41. A player or umpire is seriously injured, you call dead ball. The umpire needs to consult with the other umpire, you call dead ball and go for the consultation. The bails fall off the stumps before the batter can play the ball. This is at the striker end, so I have not mentioned that. The bails falling at the striker end before the batter can play the ball, you can call it dead ball. But once the batter has played the ball, then you carry on. The batter isn't ready and doesn't try to play the ball, so the batter withdraws because they are not ready. Then and they did not play the ball, then you call and signal dead ball. The batter is distracted while preparing to play the ball. So there is some distraction, say a bird comes in or some distraction happens, somebody ran in front of the side screen. So then you can call dead ball. Deliberate distraction of the batter. The bowler, this is law 41.5 and 6, 4 and 5 we will see. The bowler accidentally drops the ball before delivering it. So they are not delivering it, but dropping it, we call and signal dead ball. the bowler throws the ball towards the batter's end before starting their delivery. It used to be a no ball, but now it is a dead ball. So if the bowler throws at the other end before coming to the delivery stride, it's a dead ball. The ball doesn't leave the bowler's hand except when trying to run out the non-striker. So bowler comes and tries to bowl but did not release the ball, then it is a dead ball. The ball cannot be recovered. So the ball goes into the bushes. Sometimes we do not cut the grass and the ball cannot be recovered. And we cannot let the batters run for how many ever runs they want. So we can call dead ball then if the ball cannot be recovered. Say there is a snake that is near the ball and we cannot go and take the ball. So the ball cannot be recovered. We can call dead ball then. Either team is disadvantaged by something on or over the field. If there is something happens that disadvantaging something, then you can call dead ball. The batter tries to hit the ball but is completely outside the pitch. So the batter is coming outside the pitch. It's a no ball and immediately dead ball to play the ball if they have to call.
Okay, sir, can I interrupt you?
Yes, yes.
It's 20.4.2, 20.4. The
Okay.
ball does not leave the bowler hand for any reason
Yes.
other than an attempt to run out the non-striker under 38.3. So usually what happens in the matches, so we like to go with this. What's actually real action to be run out that time? So when the umpire should judge the ball does not leave the bowler hand, right? And he asking for the run out. So this is, I'd like to clear on this, please.
So bowler does not leave but they're trying to run out the non-striker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the batter is out, the moment before we will see it in the run out, the moment they release the ball, they are supposed to release the ball. If before that moment they hit the stumps and the non-striker is out of the crease, then it will be out, run out.
Okay, but it does not depend on the action of the bowler. The ball does not leave the bowler hand, so that's I want to clear that. So,
is it like a man kidding or what?
Yeah, he's asking about non-striker run out, which used to be called as monkeying. But yeah, so if the bowler comes to the delivery stride, they try to bowl, but if they complete the action, then they come back, try to hit the stumps, then it will not be out. They cannot cross the point of release.
Mopping crease, yeah.
Not the popping crease, but the point of the release where they're supposed to release. If they would have released the ball at that moment, after that they hit the stumps, then it is not a run out. But before that it happens, it's a run out. We'll properly see it when we see run out. So
run out, okay.
It comes under run out law. So, but here what we are saying is if the bowler is not releasing the ball, so then it is a dead ball. That is what we are seeing here.
Okay.
We will have a clear explanation when we see run out, and probably we'll see it in the next session.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. The batter tries to hit the ball, but is completely outside the pitch. So that is the batter has to run outside to play the ball. Then it's a no ball and immediately dead ball. Any other situation where the rules requires, we can call dead ball.
There's another. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
What?
Yes.
Yes, because here in our local cricket, most of the time we have a higher grass. So what's the best time to call a dead ball? When you can find the ball, like in different occasions, the grass or whatever. Maybe sometime we have a holes in the ground, so we can find the ball.
Yeah. Okay. So
and they try to steal the run.
Slightly complicated. So it is about umpire's call. Once I let people run for 5 runs or something, 4 runs or something like that. So, but yeah, if the bushes are high and genuinely the fielder cannot see the ball and they cannot recover the ball, not momentarily not seeing the ball, we cannot count. But if they are not able to recover the ball, then when the umpire is certain that it is not recoverable, then you call dead ball. But yeah, there is umpire judgment involved in that.
Okay, but who is from the fielding side? Who actually who is close to the ball? He can call dead ball. He also can call
It's
the
umpire's call.
It's umpire call only. Okay, all right. Thank you. I understand. It's
So
not.
when the
It's not
umpire
the field.
realizes the ball cannot be recovered, so that is when the umpire call dead ball. It's
So
not
is
up to
it
the fielders.
is it possible that a fielder asks the umpire that I cannot find the ball, so we just do a right decision?
I mean, it is possible. So, I mean, but you don't have to follow the fielder's call, but that is a sign you get as an umpire that he cannot recover the ball. So it is, you don't go by his words, but his actions, like what is happening there. But
Okay,
that
it's
is
umpire
also
judgment,
for
right,
you to decide that the ball cannot be recovered.
So it's all umpire judgment. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is umpire's judgment.
Okay, thank you.
And always it is a good idea, like in QCF, we say umpires to come 30 minutes before. The law says 45 minutes before, just to go through the ground and have an idea. Say if there are patches, be aware of where there are big bushes and all those things, so that this decision can be made promptly if we have prior information about the ground. Thank you for your question. Now we'll see
because it's happened. It's happened 2-3 times. The fielder, he says dead ball. So it means stop running.
No, fielder cannot call dead ball. It's
okay, appreciate.
Until umpire calls, the batter can run.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Just clear this.
No problem. Okay, we'll see a short video about dead ball by, this is from the Laws of Cricket official website.
Dead ball. There are times when a ball becomes dead. Some are automatic, others are down to the judgment of the umpire. Once the ball is dead, nothing can happen which affects the scores or the game until the ball becomes live again. Here are some common examples where a dead ball is automatic. The ball is automatically dead when it is finally settled in the hands of the wicketkeeper or of the bowler. This is effectively once everyone realizes that nothing else can or will happen from that particular delivery. Or when a boundary is scored. Or a batsman is dismissed. Or when the ball becomes trapped between the bat and person of a batsman, or between items of the batsman's clothing or equipment, or even the clothing of an umpire. There are times when the umpire must decide whether a ball is dead. For example, when there is a serious injury. Or when, less seriously but no less distracting, the striker is put off by, say, a bird flying in front of his or her face. Quite reasonably, the umpire will signal a dead ball. There are indeed many instances in which an umpire may signal a dead ball, too many to list here. If you're dead keen to know more about dead balls, you'll find everything you need to know in the Blue Book under Law 20.
This is one of the examples of dead ball. This is a slightly controversial call. So the umpire decides that it is a distraction. So unnecessary movement by the bowler. So here he calls and signals dead ball. So the ball ceases to be dead. That is, it comes into play when the bowler starts his or her run up, or if there is no run up, starts his or her bowling action. So that is when the ball comes into play. Dead ball not to be revoked. So any dead ball that is called or considered dead cannot be revoked. Dead ball counting as 1 off over. If the batter does not get a chance to play a dead ball, it doesn't count in the over. If the batter does get a chance to play a dead ball, it usually counts as a valid ball unless it's a no ball wide or a few specific situations such as unfair play. If the batter isn't ready and doesn't try to play the ball, it doesn't count. So that comes to the end of the law dead ball. So here are a few questions to check our understanding. So when a ball is dead automatically, so there are 8 ways we saw the ball is dead automatically. So for example purpose, this will be asked, but can you mention few of those? Anybody? When is ball automatically dead?
Yeah, it's a boundary
Yeah.
when the over is finished, when the ball resting in the keeping hand, and also the possible serious injury.
No, serious injury is not automatically dead. You will have to call and signal dead ball.
Okay.
Anything else?
If the bales fall down because of the air, I think.
That is also you have to call and signal dead ball.
Yeah.
It is not automatically dead. When it is
It's not.
automatically dead.
Oh, automatically is only, I think, the boundary and the resting in the keeping hand.
There are 8 ways. So boundary, it is finally
Batter is
settled.
out.
Wicketkeeper, a batter is dismissed. Whether played or
out,
not,
yeah.
it becomes trapped in the bat or person trapped in umpire's clothing. Then award of penalty runs for fielding the ball or player returning without permission. Ball hits the helmet behind the keeper. The conclusion of the match. So these are the 8 ways where the ball is automatically dead. When do you consider the ball finally settled?
Finally settled.
When it's in the hand of a keeper or the bowler.
Isn't it the umpire's decision?
It is the
It's umpire's call.
Yeah. So as an umpire, how will you decide?
So for example, like if the reaches the keeper, or if it gets to the bowler and it's clear that or in another scenario when you know that the play is dead, like even if it has not reached the bowler or the keeper, but you know that the play is not continuing, it's your judgment and you can.
When the batting team and fielding team both considers the ball ceases to be in play, both teams think that the ball is dead, then you can consider it as finally settled. Is the ball dead on call of over or time?
Yes, I think.
You have to call over or time only once the ball is dead.
Yeah.
What are the occasions when an umpire calls and signals dead ball? We have seen so many occasions. I mean, we have seen a slide for that. When the ball ceases to be dead, that is when the ball comes into play.
When the bowler starts the run up or the delivery strike.
Perfect. When the bowler starts the run up, or when the bowler doesn't have a run up, starts the delivery strike. The ball counted as 1 off over when umpire calls dead ball. When the umpire calls dead ball, is the ball counted? If the ball is delivered, it is counted, and we have seen when it is counted. There are some exceptions that fielding the ball, player returning without permission. There are situations where the ball is not counted, but a delivered ball after delivery, if the batter has chance to play, it will be counted. So we have finished dead ball. Now we'll go to no ball. There are different types of no ball. So to summarize that, failing to notify the change in the mode of delivery. So initially they have to say, but it is if they don't say, the umpires can ask what is the mode of their delivery. But when they change their mode of delivery and they do not say right arm over there bowling and suddenly they are coming around the wicket, then you can call no ball. Then fair delivery, the arm. So if it is chucking, so the arm is like after coming to the shoulder high, if the elbow should not be straight and the angle of the arm should not change. So that is checking. So if it is checking, it is no ball. And ball thrown or delivered underarm without agreement. If you bowl underarm, it's no ball. Bowler throwing at the striker's wicket before delivery, it's a dead ball. It used to be a no ball, but it's a dead ball now. It's not a no ball. Foot fault, front foot fault or back foot fault. So if it is a overstepping or touching the return crease, we'll see a video about that. Foot fault, no balls. Bowler breaking the wicket and delivering the ball. If while bowling the bowler breaks the wicket, it's a no ball. Ball bouncing more than once or rolling along the ground before it reaches the popping crease. So that is a no ball. Or it is pitching wholly or partially off the pitch before it reaches the line of striker's wicket without having come in contact with the striker's bat or his person. So if the ball is pitching outside the pitch, partially or wholly, before it comes in contact with the batter, or it is a no ball. And ball
And a
causing
dead ball too?
That's not a dead ball. The dead ball is if the batter comes out of the pitch to play the ball, completely out of the pitch to play the ball, then it will be a dead ball. Ball causing striker to leave the pitch or ball coming to rest in front of the wicket. So this is a no ball and immediately we'll call dead ball. Ball causing the striker to leave the pitch or ball coming to rest in front of the wicket. Fielder intercepting a delivery. So before the batter has opportunity to play, if it hits the fielder, it's a no ball. Ball bouncing over head height. As per MCC law, ball bouncing over head height is a no ball, but it's a wide in ICC playing conditions. We'll see a video.
No ball. One of the things bowlers hate is bowling a no ball. Here's the most common form. The bowler's front foot has landed beyond the popping crease. If the umpire spots this, he or she will call a no ball. The front foot must land with some part, whether grounded or raised, behind the popping crease. The bowler's front foot must also not cross an imaginary line joining the two middle stumps. And the bowler's back foot must also land within and not touching the return crease. But this is cricket, so things don't stop there. The umpire will also call a no ball if the bowler throws the ball. The bowler changes his or her method of delivery without telling the umpire. The bowler bowls underarm. The ball bounces more than once before reaching the popping crease. The ball comes to rest in front of the batsman's wicket. And if the bowler hits the stumps at his or her end while delivering the ball. For an even more precise definition of when a ball is a no ball, see Law 20.
So those are the no balls that we saw, and there are no balls that can be called if there is infringement of certain laws, which is position of umpire, position of wicket keeper, that we will see. Position of wicket keeper. Is there any question?
Yeah, there's also no ball called when the bowler is start to do the ball and the fielder is interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
Does it call a no ball?
No, that is not a no ball. That was fielder is talking. What did he say?
The fielder is talking and while delivering the ball.
That can be considered as distraction. So that is not a no ball, but that will lead to 5 penalty runs and ball will not be counted as one of the over. We will see Law 41. That can be considered as distraction, but not as a no ball. So there are some infringement of the laws that we are going to see now. That is no ball, which is position of wicket keeper. That is wicket keeper is moving unfairly when the bowler is bowling before it reaches the batter. Limitation of onside fielders. So only 2 fielders maximum can be there behind behind the popping crease on the leg side. So if there are more than 2 fielders, that is a no ball. Fielders not encroach on the pitch area. Well, if there are some close fielders, they come into the pitch while the bowler is bowling before the batter plays the ball, then it is a no ball. Bowling of dangerous and unfair short pitch deliveries, bowling of dangerous and unfair non-pitching deliveries, that is full toss, bowling of deliberate front foot, no balls. So these are all infringement of some laws that will lead to no ball.
Sir, you just mentioned the close fielder. Close fielder is mean how many fielders? Close fielders.
Close number of fielder doesn't matter, but if the fielder comes into the pitch area, if they put 1 foot on the pitch, then it is a no ball.
So you mean silly point, for example?
Silly point, as long as they remain outside the pitch, there is no problem. But if they come inside the pitch before the batter plays the ball, then it is a no ball.
Snowball. If they start moving while the bowler is in the running position, for example, is it delivering the ball? If the close fielders start moving or walking.
So yeah, if they are moving too much unfairly, then it will be 5 penalty runs.
5 penalty runs. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll see that.
Yeah. Obstruction. Right.
No, obstruction is one thing, but this is not obstruction. This is fielder. I don't get the name.
Like a distraction, right?
No, this doesn't come. Fielder movement. We will see in law. Fielder. That will also lead to penalty runs.
Okay, 5 runs. Okay, sir. Thank you.
We will see that in the next one clearly. Possession of wicketkeeper, we see also it's unfair movement of the fielders.
Unfair, okay.
So the umpire has to revoke the call of no ball if dead ball is called under 20.4.2.4, 5, 6, 8, 10 is the automatically calling and signal no ball. So if the ball is not delivered and other things, if the dead ball is called before, then the no ball will not be counted. No ball supersedes white ball at any time. If it is both wide and no ball, but we have to consider it as no ball. Ball does not become dead on the call of a no ball. So ball is in play even after the call of no ball. 1 run penalty scored at the instant of delivery, irrespective of when it is called, in addition to the runs or penalties. So we see at the instant of delivery, 1 run penalty is scored. So if it is 1 run to win, you bowl a no ball. Whatever happens next doesn't matter. The match is over then. If runs are scored by the hit of the batter, the run scored will be credited to the batter, and 1 run penalty for no ball as no ball. If runs are scored otherwise, 1 run as no ball and others as byes or leg byes, as the case may be. 5 runs penalties will be guided by law 41.17. That is how we score 5 penalties. We will see in 41. So this is no ball. No ball not to count as one of the over. Batter cannot be can be out by hit the ball twice, obstructing the field, or run out of a no ball. So this is a very common question. What are the ways you get out in a no ball? It is hit the ball twice, obstructing the field, and run out. Also for wide, they'll ask what are the ways you can get out. So this you will have to remember for examination purpose.
Can you repeat again, sir, the last 2 things you said?
So batter can be out, hit the ball twice, obstructing the fielder, and run out. So these are the ways batter can be out on a no ball. We'll have to remember this for the examination purpose. Even for wide ball, we'll see what are the ways the batter getting out. So these 2 questions are very common, I see in many examination papers.
Twice hit on the bat, right?
Hit the ball twice. So we'll see appeals and dismissals. So there are 9 ways to get out. One is hit the ball twice, intentionally hitting the ball second time, but not for protecting your wicket. That is that is out. Even if it is a no ball, it is out. Obstructing the field, you obstruct the field, then it is even if it is a no ball, it is out. And in run out, you have run out in no ball. What do you understand by mode of delivery? What is its importance? Anybody can answer about no ball and mode of delivery? So mode of delivery is right arm over, right arm round, left arm over, left arm around. So we have to, bowler has to inform the umpire. And if the bowler changes the mode of delivery without informing the umpire, then it will be called as no ball. Any question?
And Navneeth,
yes.
Sorry, and the bowler has to do this every over they
No.
come back to?
No. The bowler just has to tell whenever they change it.
No, I understand. But I'm saying is, so let's say the bowler did right arm over, 1 over. Next time they come around, they don't have to advise again unless they change that they're going to come around the wicket or something.
Yeah, next over, if they are still bowling right arm over, they don't have to say. But if they are going to change it, then they'll have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Who's responsible for fairness of the delivery? Who's responsible? Sorry, I don't know what this question is a little vague. We'll move on to the next question. What action do you take if the ball is thrown?
It's a dead ball.
No, it is dead ball. If you are, this is about checking. So
it's a no ball then.
So it's a no ball. So I did not explain it properly. So what happens is it is a no ball, and you give first and final warning to the
bowler.
To the bowler. So let me check if it is 1 warning or 2 warnings. I think it is only 1 warning.
It's only 1, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So you give first and final warning to the bowler that this is the last time. Then again, if the bowler chucks, you give no ball again and remove the bowler, and the bowler cannot bowl in that innings thereafter.
Sorry, Navneeth, does this have to be in the consent with both the umpires, or only one umpire can call that?
It is only one umpire. Whoever is, generally it is striker and umpire, or the leg umpire is in better position to see. Right. But it doesn't matter. Whichever umpire sees, they can call.
Okay. Thank you.
Just a second. What action do you take? Define fair delivery, the arm. Arm is how, I've not.
Or it cannot be underarm?
Cannot be underarm. Once you come to the, I did not properly define it here. I went through fast. So once you come to the shoulder high, you cannot partially or fully straighten the elbow while during the delivery strike. You will not get questions like this, but just to know the understanding, what is check that you have to know.
Correct. Thank you.
What action do you take if a bowler throws a ball towards striker's end before delivery?
It's a dead ball.
It's a dead ball, that's right. It used to be a no ball, that is why it is a question now. But yeah, it's a dead ball now. Define a fair delivery with respect to the feet. So there are 3 criteria with respect to the feet that can be no ball. Can you tell what are those?
Before the popping line?
So yeah, beyond the popping line, foot is landed beyond the popping crease. Front foot landing beyond the popping crease. That is a no ball. Then?
The front foot in front of the imaginary wicket line.
You hit the stumps while bowling.
Sorry?
You hit the ball while bowling?
Return crease, sir.
Return crease, yeah.
Cannot be touching the return crease.
Back foot touching the return crease. That's a no ball. And one
the
more.
front foot in front of the imaginary wicket line, you know.
Yeah, so if you cross the middle line, there is an imaginary line between both the middle stump. If the front foot lands completely outside the other side of the mode of delivery or bowling, then it is a no ball. So what happens if bowler breaks the wicket while delivery on bowler's end?
It's a no ball.
No ball.
Yeah. What do you understand by ball bouncing more than once or rolling along the ground during delivery? What action do you take in this case?
No
It's
ball.
considered a no ball also, you know, even if the ball stop in front of them.
That's a dead ball, right?
So the will come to ball coming to rest. That is the next question. This is just a no ball if ball pitching more than once or rolling along the ground. What action do you take if the ball comes to rest in front of striker wicket?
It will be a no ball also.
No ball.
It will be a no ball and also a dead ball. So it is a no ball. So in the first case, ball bouncing more than twice, the batter can hit and they can score runs. If the ball comes to rest, or if the batter comes wholly out of the pitch to play the ball, it is a no ball, but you immediately call and signal dead ball.
Sir, can you repeat again? You say you can score the run. I did not clear that.
So if the ball pitching more than once, it is pitching twice, it's a no ball, but you can hit the ball and score runs.
Okay, so still you can play. The batsman can hit the ball.
Yes, you can hit the ball. It's a no ball. You can score runs. But if the ball is coming to rest in front of the striker's wicket, then it is a dead ball. You cannot score off that ball. It's no ball, and you immediately call dead ball. Also,
so if we call no ball, sorry,
yes.
sir. So if it's dead, then like you say that, so it's a no ball, right?
So no ball, you get 1 run for the no ball. Then you call and signal dead ball so that the batter doesn't score after that. You cannot.
And that's a free hit.
That's
because all the no ball is a free hit, right? So in that action, where
it depends on the format or playing conditions. So free hit is not defined in the MCC laws, but yeah, if it is a T20 match, you get a free hit the next ball.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope it's clear.
So it's like, you know, it's like a local rule that we decide that all the no balls should be free hit or not, you know.
All the no balls are free hit. That is the rule.
Okay, so it's fine. So it's a no ball. But the thing is, the bowler, when the ball is at rest, so the batsman cannot make more runs, you know, by hitting it.
Yes, for the question number 9, if the ball comes to rest, then you have to call immediately dead ball. The batter cannot go and hit it.
Got it.
Okay. Even same case, if the batter is coming out of the pitch fully, if the batter has to come out of the pitch, it is so wide that batter is coming out to play. It is no ball, then you call dead ball. So you call no ball for infringement of which other laws? We saw a few examples like wicket keeper, position of wicket keeper, limitation of onside fielder, fielder not to encroach on the pitch area, and law 41. So these infringements will result in a no ball. When do you revoke a call of a no ball? If it is not delivered, if the dead ball is called before delivery, then you revoke the call of no ball. Say if it's a no ball, you overstep, umpire call no ball, but you are not delivering the ball. You realize you went ahead, then it's not a no ball. You can revoke the call. Can a delivery be wide ball and an no ball? If not, what stands? Or which takes precedence between wide and no ball?
No ball.
No ball.
Yeah. That comes to the end of no ball. So,
Navneeth,
yes.
Sorry, one thing. There was no mention about the ball going above the waist of a batsman. So, because when we're playing locally, we say if it goes above the waist, then it's a no ball, and if the player has come out of the crease.
That is right. So it will be covered in law 41, bowling of dangerous and unfair short pitch delivery, bowling of dangerous and unfair non-pitching deliveries. So these two will be Non-pitching deliveries is above the waist no ball. Short pitch deliveries will be the bouncer.
Got it. Okay.
So we'll cover it in Law 41. So these infringements will also be no ball.
Thank you.
No problem. So white ball, this will be the last law that we will be covering today. White ball. If the bowler bowls a ball, not being a no ball, the umpire shall adjudge it wide if the ball passes wide of where the striker is standing or has stood at any point after the ball came into play for that delivery, and which also would have passed wide of the striker standing in a normal batting position. It's little big, but what the crux of it is, if at any point of the stance we have to take into consideration, and if with the normal cricketing stroke, if the batter cannot reach the ball, then it is wide. So that is the definition of wide. The umpire calls and signals a wide when the ball passes the striker's wicket, but it is actually considered wide from the moment the bowler starts their delivery stride. So as you see, from the moment you call the wide ball after the ball passes the striker's wicket, but it is considered wide the moment it is delivered. So if it is 1 run to win, that example we have mentioned, 1 run to win, you bowl a wide and there is a stumping or a hit wicket, it will not be counted as out because the match is over because of that wide. Let's see a video.
Wide ball. How much do bowlers hate wides? This much and more. So what constitutes a wide ball? A nutshell definition might be that the ball is not close enough to the batsman for him or her to hit it with a normal cricket stroke. It's as much to do with the position of the batsman as the wickets. If the batsman brings the ball sufficiently within reach by stepping towards it, the ball would not be judged a wide. However, that doesn't mean that the batsman can force a wide decision by stepping away from the ball. For a closer inspection of the laws concerning a wide ball, refer to Law 22. What?
Revoking a wide. If batter hits the ball, the wide call is reversed. So the umpire already called wide, but the batter played late and hit the ball, then you can reverse the call. If the ball is also a no ball, the wide call is revoked because no ball takes precedence. If the batter moves and makes the ball too wide to hit, it's not a wide. If the batter moves and brings the ball within reach, it's not a wide. If the ball hits the batter as it passes by, it's not a wide. The ball does not become dead on the call of wide. So whatever happens after, even though you call wide, it's still in play.
Sir, can you explain a little bit number 4 again? Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. So it is about movement of the batters. So if the batter moves and makes the ball too wide to hit, it's not a wide. So if the batter is moving away, so the original position will be considered, and just because of that, the ball it will not be given wide.
Because in my knowledge, if the batsman changed the playing his playing position, for example, he's a right hand, he's switched to left-handed, right, to play the reverse sweep or whatever. So that still we call them, okay, it's a no ball. I mean the white ball. But if somebody going all the way to the leg side, for example, to be reached to the ball.
No, wait. If the batter plays reverse sweep, what do you do?
So that's what I'm saying. So we call that it's not a white ball, for example.
It's not a white ball, exactly. Yeah.
So, but in that case, what you're saying, if the batsman going all the way to the leg side or maybe going to the on side to be reached to the ball, and the ball still going to the crossing the line for the wide, so are we considered as a wide or no wide?
No, if it
even across the line.
Yeah, it is wide. I'm saying just for the purpose of him, because of him, the batter moving, it becomes wide. Then you don't call it wide. But even if for the original position it is still wide, you can call it wide. You get
but my question is,
yeah.
It's not clear yet because I say, for example, in the on side we
Yeah.
have a white ball, but
Okay.
the batsman tried to reach it all the way. He crossed like all the wickets and he going all the way to the near to the line to hit the ball.
Okay.
So can we still, if we know, umpire should know is already crossed the line, right? Onside, the ball crossed the line for the white ball,
But
but
is the batter within the reach to hit the ball?
and can we consider it as a white ball still?
That is what, if the batter is within the reach to hit the ball or not?
That's my question. If the ball, if the batsman chasing the ball, for example,
Yes.
if he's chasing the ball and ball is still wide, so in that case, is that ball wide is a white ball or no?
If the ball is still wide, then it is a wide ball. But if the batter is going towards the ball and the ball is still going much wider than him, he cannot reach the ball, then it is a wide ball.
It's a white ball. Okay, so
Yeah.
it does not matter the movement, right?
Movement matters. Movement matters because, say, if it is because of the movement, how do I say? Like if because of the movement of the batter is within the reach to hit the ball, then it is not a wide. Even though if it is beyond the wide line, you say if you're using wide line, and if
So
the
it
batter,
means like you mean to say that as long as it is in his reach, it's not a
yes,
wide. Doesn't matter where he moves or not. So
yeah,
if it is out of his reach, it doesn't matter if it's moving or not.
it
Still,
is
it's
in
out of the
reach
reach. It's a wide.
from all the points he stood, not just the initial moment. He moved after that. Then he's within the reach, or he's trying move front and back. Then he's making it within the reach at any point during the play. Then it will not be a wide.
But for example, if the ball is towards the offside,
Offside.
and the batter moves towards the leg side to make more room, and it is out of his reach, but
No,
it's not a
no,
wide, right?
that is not a wide.
Yeah,
So
because
if the batter moves to
he's
make the
making
ball
a
too
more
wide
space.
to hit, it's not a wide.
Yeah, I got it.
And
But
if they move towards the offside, like if the ball is going wide towards the offside, and the batsman also initial movement goes towards the offside,
okay,
but if he doesn't offer a shot and then it crosses the wide line, is it a wide? Or
if the initial
even though
movement,
if it's in the reach?
if the initial movement, after the initial movement, you think it will be within the reach, even though the shot is not offered, it is not a wide.
Cool.
That is it's like a complicated. I would, for me,
yeah. Tell me if you don't understand. I'll try to clarify, or we can try to clarify.
Navneeth, another thing you need to home in for all the attendees is the guideline, which is 17 inches from the crease, right? It's just a guideline. It's not a wide line. So umpires needs to understand that like a batter cannot make a ball wide by moving away. So if a ball is within the guideline and the batter is moving away, like he probably takes 2 steps behind, that he cannot make the ball wide by himself. But he can actually go closer to the ball, and the ball, if it is within his reach to play a normal cricketing stroke, it won't be a wide. So the only determination you guys have to make is whether the batsman moved or not. But in that process, whether he was trying to make it a wide or not, then that determination has to happen. And also, when if he has enough room to play a normal cricketing stroke, that ball will not be a wide. So yeah, and then the guideline is just a guideline. A lot of players have these understanding that, oh, the ball passes the guideline, it's a wide, or it passes over the line. But positioning of the batter is also important.
Yeah. Thank you, Rahul.
So it means it's all at the end. It's all the judgment of the umpire who sees the batter where he's standing at the time when he received the ball, right?
Not just at the time. From the moment they start playing, so the bowler starts the delivery. Wherever the batter moves, that has to be noted from by the umpire. And if it is within the reach at any point, it will not be a wide.
Perfect.
The ball does not become dead on the call of wide. A penalty of 1 run shall be awarded instantly on the call of wide unless the call is revoked. This penalty shall stand even if a batter is dismissed and shall be in addition to any other runs scored or any boundary allowance and any other runs awarded for penalties. So in wide stumping, the wide run for wide will be counted, or wide boundary, it will be 5 runs, like that. All runs completed by the batters or a boundary allowance, together with the penalty for the wide, shall be scored as wide balls. Apart from any award of 5 penalty runs, all runs resulting from a wide shall be debited against the bowler. A wide shall not count as one of the over.
So it means when there is a wide ball, if it goes for a boundary, so it will be 5 wides, right?
Yes.
But if it goes to wide and the keeper misses and the batsman took a run, so that will be a leg by or a by, right?
If it hits the batter, it will not be by, no? Sorry, wide, no?
Because it's a wide ball and the keeper misses and the batter make another run, so it's like a by with the wide, right?
Not by, it's 2 wides.
So it won't be considered as by.
No, it will go to the bowler.
Okay, so it's going to be 2 wides. Okay.
Yeah. A wide shall not count as one of the over. When wide ball has been called, neither batter shall be out under any of the laws except hit wicket, obstructing the field, run out, stumped. So again, you will have to remember this. This is a frequent question in exam. What are the ways batter can be dismissed in a wide ball? It's hit wicket, obstructing the field, run out, stumped. So we'll see some questions. How do you judge a delivery as wide? We have discussed that now. When the delivery is not wide,
Can you go back to,
yes.
sir? Sorry to interrupt.
No
So,
problem.
what's the four things you just mentioned? Hit wicket.
So, hit wicket, obstructing the field, run out, HORS. Hit wicket, obstructing the field, run out, stumped.
Yes, Navneeth, hone in this one as well, the HORS part. The stumped is the only HORS is hit wicket, obstruction, run out, and stumped and wide. And in no ball, it's HOR, but that H is hitting the ball twice, not hit wicket.
So when
Yeah,
you
so
hit
the way to remember dismissals on a no ball or a wide is like an abbreviation called HORS. HORS in terms of wide, but that H is hit wicket, and in no ball is HOR, but that H is hitting the ball twice. Just to remember.
Yeah. You cannot hit the ball twice in wide, because if you hit the ball, it is not a wide. So that's how you differentiate that H, hit wicket and hit the ball twice. In no ball, you get out by hit the ball twice, obstructing the field, and run out 3 ways.
And stumped, right?
Stumped is not in no ball, but in wide ball.
In wide ball, okay.
Yeah. When
So in no ball.
Yes, tell me.
So the only one thing is different rather than wide ball. It's a no ball. You have a five ways you can get off.
3 ways. No ball 3 ways. Hit the ball twice, obstructing the field, run out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's 4. For the wide ball, you have a four ways. Yeah. Okay.
Hit wicket, obstructing the field, run out, and stumped.
And Navneeth, one more thing I want to add is whatever the mode of dismissals on a no ball is, which is hitting the ball twice, obstruction, and run out, would be the same things applicable on a free hit as well in ICC playing conditions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So on free hit also, you can be out on the free hit ball. You can still be out within these 3 modes of dismissals of a no ball.
Only those.
Same like free hit and the no ball is similar.
Yes. For the mode of dismissal. So when the delivery is not a wide, though it passes wide of the striker. If the batter moves.
If the striker moves, yeah.
Yeah. When do you call and signal white ball?
As soon as the ball
After
is,
the
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, once we call the ball dead, or the keeper gets the ball.
Settling in the
No. When white ball doesn't make the ball dead, so you call it when the ball is in play. Anyone else can answer?
When did you call?
Umpire calls and signals wide when the ball passes the striker's wicket. So when the ball passes the striker's wicket, you call it, but it is actually dead from the moment of the delivery strike. So after the calling of wide doesn't make the ball dead. And you have to again signal it to the scorer after the ball is dead. So there are the wide, no ball. I think so which signals you call and signal after, like this is in play out and sorry, there is a question, no ball, wide ball, out, and I am not able to remember one more decision you make while the ball is in play. So that is a frequent question in exam. Dead ball, yeah, you call and signal dead ball when the ball is in play. So yeah, so wide ball you call when the ball is in play. Is the ball dead on the call of wide ball? I just answered. The ball is not dead, it's still in play. What is the penalty for a wide ball?
1 run.
Yeah. How runs resulting from a wide ball are scored?
White ball.
And express against the bowler.
Yeah, all the runs goes to the bowler. Does a white ball count as one of the over? No. What are the ways a batter can be out from a white ball?
Hit wicket, obstructions, run out, and stumped.
Yes. So that is the end of the presentation for today. Is there any other questions?
I think it was a great session. Thank you very much, Navneeth. Very informative.
For attending. The dates for the Cricket Canada seminar came out. It is on March 23rd and March 30th. We'll forward the information by text in WhatsApp. And the exam will happen on April 13, as I mentioned. And you can contact us, me, Rahul, or Roj, and if Deepak is there, if you have any doubts or question, you can always contact us. And if there is any doubt, you can ask now, or we can end the call and meet next weekend.
For the exam, are there any sample questions or answers that we can refer to? That you have?
We'll prepare something. Actually, we'll have a 1 week before exam, probably April 1st weekend. We'll have an in-person session where we can have a mock exam kind of thing. We are planning something like that. So that will give you an idea what kind of questions that can come.
Okay.
We don't have it in hand. We'll prepare something and we'll give it to you.
I just like to add something because last time, it's long time before, we attend, the umpiring classes.
Sure.
So we do like to have some stuff from the, experienced umpires, like how to account some paperwork, we always looking for that to be looks like a more professional. Some booklets, they provide us before. So I do like to, I'm not saying I'm requesting, I'm asking to be, if it's possible, so we can have more tools, something from professional umpires.
I don't understand what you're asking.
Asking like during the umpiring, they have a small booklet, something like that, so they can help us. So we look more professional. Yeah, that's a match report or something like that. They provide us before a long time before. So I just asking if there's knowledge of anything about that.
We do have match cards that we supply to our registered umpires, and that they just write to keep track of how many overs a bowler bowled.
That's correct. Yeah,
that is the thing you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some tools there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I'm not sure if they are giving out something. I'm not familiar with it. But yeah, like if you mentioned about senior umpires contacted, like we have Cricket Canada seminars, we'll have a more experienced umpire coming for the session to clarify your questions. So you can ask your questions there also. But I'm not sure they'll be handing out anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Just asking.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. Any other question?
All good for so far.
Thank you. Thank you so much for attending. See you all
Thank
next
you,
week.
Navneeth. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, everybody.
We will post about the link and the timings during the week for the next session. Thank you all.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you very much. Very wonderful day. Thanks.